Hello, everyone. Let us know if you can see and hear us. Gareth,
Hello.
how are you?
We've got 42 people, 43 people, 44 people, 45 people going up every second. Oh, no, that's the second. It's the second timer.
But we have 11 people so far, and that's magnificent.
Awesome. Hello, 11 people.
What's going on? Welcome to our holiday hangout. We're calling this Put the Kettle On.
Put the kettle on because I have my cup of tea. This is one of my favorite mugs, actually. This mug, it's got instructions on dunking. How long it's got, how long you can have for different biscuits. How long you need to. What's this one? So
you got Jimmy Dodger on there.
So I've got a chocolate digestive tea. Oh, that's hot. Hold on. Oh, have you noticed how hot tea is? Hold on. So I've got chocolate digestives here, and according to this mug, chocolate digestives, it says. Where are you? Crunch factor, 2 out of 5. Anti-dissolvability, 3 out of 5. Final dunk rating, 2.5 out of 5.
They give you, let me just tell you, I love those statistics. I love that.
Yeah, Dunkonomics, I think you call it. Hold on.
That's awesome.
Dunkonomics.
Now,
yeah,
so are you a dunker?
Oh, yeah, of course I am.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I veer between dunking and just eating the biscuit. So I'll have a few dunks and then I'll go, what does it actually taste like on its own? I'll have a few biscuits and I'll go, need to dunk again. So I go back dunking. It's good to have a lot of variety in your life, I think. So try both things, swing both ways, as they say.
I'm not going to lie, and I'm sure you're not shocked, but I'm not a dunker.
You're not a dunker. It interferes with the taste. You're a coffee drinker, aren't you, as well? So.
But I don't like, the worst thing is when you get to the bottom of your tea and you get those little crumbles, the little leftover.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, they're surprise little biscuits, aren't they? What's the digestive? I can see some.
Everybody, hello in the chat. Hello to everybody joining us. There's 18 people now, and that's amazing. We wanted to get together because we haven't talked, and I haven't been online a lot just because life and holiday and all that. Yeah, right? Yeah. So we needed to communicate. We needed to catch up.
Let's bear that with me. I have to answer our own bloody questions. How can I do that? I reckon I got something wrong. I reckon one of them was probably wrong. One of them, I reckon.
No, they were all right.
They're all right. Okay. Awesome.
Let's go
stuck together. 2 digestives stuck together.
Now,
that's a nightmare.
Now let me tell you, they sell those at my local market. Is it McVitie's?
McVitie's, yeah, McVitie's.
Yes. So I buy those, but I have to pump the brakes because you have one and you want to have another. And another.
You're defining biscuits, aren't you? Basically. Every biscuit. The only one that's not like that is pink wafers. One and you go, all right, that's enough.
You're good.
But yeah, digestives. I mean, but do I eat them? Oh, hold on. Oh, they might be separating. No. Do I smash them onto a table to separate them?
No.
At the risk of them going into 15 million pieces? Do I eat them 2 at a time?
That you're living on the edge, buddy. You're living on the edge.
Do I leave it and just get another one? Just leave it for another day?
Yeah. leave that matter for another day.
This is what I'm saying.
There you go.
This is dark chocolate as well because it's my justification that I'm diabetic, so dark chocolate is better.
And that's my jam. Do you know when Prince William got married, I was all into watching, and I guess the tradition is over there or whatever, they would have is it the groom's cake? The groom would have a cake, and he had a chocolate ganache cake that was made with biscuits. I replicated it, and that sucker was amazing. It was so bad for you, but it was so good. Just think of a chocolate digestive bake, just like a cake, like a pie almost. It was just rich and chocolatey and good.
That's awesome. I tell you what, talking about cake and cookies, biscuits, that kind of mix.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I had my 50th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
and it was an amazing day at work. So you don't necessarily want to go to work on your birthday. So glad I did on that day because I was spoiled rotten. So there was like a massive sheet that was put outside on the gate of the college saying happy birthday to Gareth. And then one class in particular went mad and they bought all this stuff and it was just really nice. It came in going woo with balloons and stuff, which is really nice.
That's awesome.
But my boss, she organised this massive collection, and she also got the catering staff involved, and they made this enormous Cookie Monster cake. Right, so everyone knows I'm a big Muppet fan. Yeah. Right, so it was a Cookie Monster, and it was massive, and it looked like brilliant as well. And it was the Cookie Monster eating a cookie with 50th birthday written all over it, and it was just amazing. I didn't really want to eat it because it was so cool, but obviously I did because it was made of cookies. It was amazing. So yeah, cookie cakes, nice.
So cool. All right, I feel like we're ignoring people. Let's say hello to who's all here. How's that? Chatty said, "Ooh, I might make this." Hey, how can you be in two places? How what? Wait, what? How can I don't understand that. My God,
maybe you're planning this life.
It's a time warp continuum. I don't know, something. Alan said, "I'm out doing errands, but I'll pop in." Zap is here. He says hello. Thomas said, "Hello from the wild Atlantic way. Sure is tonight, Ireland." Leslie is here saying hello. Books with Nola is here. Leslie, I can see and hear you. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome.
Jenny Parks is here. William is here. Everyone can see us. Beth Hendy is here. Hey,
Rage Biscuit.
Brian says Rage Biscuit is into his house. That's so good. If you've all followed our little chats and lives, you know exactly what that statement is all about. Glad to see you, Brian. Alice is here. Hello, Alice. Good to see you. What is a digestive? Leslie needs to know. So explain it.
What does it say?
It's good.
Does it have it says wheatmeal. God, this is hard to read.
You need cheaters like I have.
It's like that.
It's basically like it's like almost like it's between a cracker and a sugar cookie, but there's not a lot of sugar in it. It's like, I don't know, it's just good. And then some of them you can dip them in chocolate like that, and they're
dip them in your tea.
Yeah, you could do that if you want to, or you could just eat them like I do out of the box. But they're good. Check your local market. Check to see if you have like an international section. Chances are you might be able to find them.
That's amazing. I love the idea that you've got English stuff in an international section.
Oh yeah. Well,
it must be a better description.
Well, you know what I'm making?
Like a normal. I don't know. It's like the. Go on.
What I'm making tomorrow? I'm making mincemeat pies, baby.
Nice mince pies.
But here I'm making mini ones. I'm not making the big one because they're like horrible for you. So I'm just gonna try like a little one. And here's the thing is that
we've got Italian cake here.
What is that?
So this is a panettone, chocolate chip panettone.
Okay.
From Morrison's, and we usually because my wife's half Italian, we usually get some Italian cake. It's like a very soft sponge with like frosted sugar all over it, and it's in the shape of a tree because it's Christmas.
Yeah.
So yeah, we usually get that as well. But somewhere there's some mince pies. Oh, I'll tell you what.
Does everybody like the snow? If you want me to take it down, let me know. I just thought it'd be festive.
And if anyone is fed up of me talking about biscuits, let me know. This is my favourite make of like normal biscuits. So there is my favourite make, what they call farmhouse biscuits. I love them, but you have to order them specially. You have to order them online because you can't find them in any shops.
Okay.
Unless you go into the deep darkest countryside, in like I don't know, somewhere in Bedfordshire or something, or Derbyshire, you might find some shops got some farmhouse biscuits, but in general they're difficult to find. So you have to order them online. But these are everywhere and they're amazing. Fox's biscuits. They are awesome. So this isn't sponsored. This stream is not sponsored by Fox's biscuits, but they're so good. And it's what you got here. You got crunch creams, jam. So that's like a jammy dodger, like a jam and cream one. Chocolate cookie, like a chocolate chip one. Best ones are these ones where they got like chocolate all over it, and it's like really thick chocolate.
Do you know that I appreciate a map on the back of a cookie container? I appreciate the map.
Yeah. It's awesome.
The illustrated legend.
They're amazing. And then you got so there we are. So we've got a few of those. Apparently, I mean, we used to buy tons and tons, and apparently, I've got diabetes, so I can't have loads. I might die, whatever.
You gotta watch your serving. We need
that was a cruel thing.
The what?
That was cruel. That was because literally, I was the biscuit king. You ask anyone in any country, anywhere, they say, "Yeah, Gareth, he's the biscuit king."
Okay, all right.
But now I'm not. I'm the biscuit disappointment.
Oh. I'm going to put you down as a biscuit king. How about that?
You're going to put me down? Not yet. I'll put myself down with all the biscuits.
All right. Let's see. Let's see. I need a Dunkanomic mug. Yes, we all need that.
That's Jim. I did an impression of Jim in one of my videos. I'm going to do it again. Hello, Jim.
Love it. Erie says, you've got the wrong accent to be a dunker. I'm not a dunker. That's the thing. I'm not.
Yeah.
Jenny says,
Americans just missed completely. They're like, oh, I can't do it.
It's just not my thing. My husband likes to dunk. He's a dunker. He was a basketball player. He likes to dunk. I'm not a dunker.
Do a DNA test. See if he's got some English blood in him.
He is Welsh. He is Welsh.
Oh, there we are. Yeah, they love dunking. Yeah, he might like cheese on toast as well. Big in Wales.
He might. Let's see. Uncle Monk is here. I'm a new subscriber to both your channels for maybe a month now, so I find this a good opportunity to find out more about both of you and your channels. Uncle Monk, I mean, this is it.
Thank you. Hello, Uncle Monk. And you've got Charlie Brown as your image. That's awesome. Awesome. Yeah, very welcome, my friend.
Yeah.
We need to know more about Uncle Monk, don't we?
Yes. That's what we should do one night. We should turn it around and have we'll ask questions of all the subscribers.
If any of my people who comment on my channels want to do a live, genuinely, I'm well up for that because I love doing lives and I haven't done one with someone who comments and it'd be nice to meet them.
Sure.
Isn't it?
A lot of fun.
What do they say? Never meet your commentators.
I don't know. Williams Library says, I'm drinking instant soup from my mug. Yeah. Uh-oh.
Instant soup. Nice. You got to read it quickly.
Brian has a very important question. Gareth, would you dunk a Jamie Dodger?
Yeah. It's a biscuit. So you got to dunk it.
Do you guys do cookie at all over there, or it's strictly biscuit?
No, yeah. Have I got any? Yeah, definitely. I mean, some of it, like the chocolate chip cookies are big, but do we get all sorts of variety of different kind of cookies? So they're called cookies because they're different design to biscuits. So they're usually thicker and slightly bigger, and they might have massive bits of white sugar in. White chocolate in it, and those kind of things, or nuts in it, or So yeah, there are all sorts of different variety of cookies. We do have cookies.
Okay, so is a Jamie Dodger a biscuit or a cookie?
Biscuit. But over with you, it's probably called a cookie, isn't it? Because you call all biscuits cookies, right?
Yeah, it's a cookie.
Yeah. So for us, a cookie is a very particular kind of biscuit.
Right. I got.
And it might be because it's influenced by America, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. We got to keep it influencing y'all over there.
Yeah. We always influence each other.
Yeah.
I remember when everything's bigger in America, isn't it? I remember when we went over there and my son ordered the extra large drink. It took 5 people to get out of the shop.
For sure.
You're still drinking it 4 weeks later.
Oh my God. I'm still catching up on dunking comments. Okay. So Jenny says double up. It's Christmas. Beth Hendy says not a dunker either. Sugar cookies and tea go together without the dunk. Don't like the crumbs in my tea. Beth, high five. High five. I am with you. I agree with that 1000%. Yes. No crumbs in my tea. What? Are you busting into that box? Oh, you're doing surgery. You know what I can't get over here?
That didn't go very well.
I can't get hobnobs over here.
No. You can't get hobnobs.
No. You can't get them on Amazon, but the horror stories of people getting them and they're all crumbled in the package, and if you get them during the summer, the chocolate's melted and everything. Like it's just not good. But yeah,
you have to move. Don't live in America anymore if you can't get hobnobs. Okay.
I've never even had one. So I've had a Jaffa cake. That I'm not. No.
You like it?
No.
But hobnobs I think hobnobs are one of the best biscuits. They're amazing.
That's what I've heard. Well, first I've heard Jamie Dodger, of course, but then people were talking about hobnob, and I'm like, I gotta find this hobnob thing.
Yeah.
Can't get them.
Oh, did I? I know when we met up, I gave you some sort of bar of chocolate, didn't I? What was it?
Oh, it was a Cadbury fruit and nut, and it was amazing.
Fruit and nut Yorkie. Was it a fruit and nut Yorkie?
Yes, it was a Yorkie. That's it. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, they were awesome. So I should have bought you some custard creams. Don't know what an idiot.
I'll tell you.
I feel like I've let you down.
I went into that Yorkie when I was in Paris, and I'm like, I want to go back to England. This is so good. Chris Monk says, I'm a big coffee drinker guy, and I love donuts, but I'm not a dunker. I'm with you on the coffee. I also appreciate a good donut, and thank you for not dunking, Uncle Monk. Thank you.
I wouldn't dunk a donut though. I wouldn't dunk a donut.
Do you know there used to be a place around in America called Dunkin' Donuts?
I know.
that's what they're known for.
Yeah. But then you guys put peanut butter and everything as well, don't you? Then you put peanut butter on like your gravy dinners and everything, don't you?
What? What are these lies people are spreading? Untruths. All right. Jess Book Girl says, hey, everybody.
Hi, Jess.
The Garage Poets open mic. Hi, everyone. I had a great cake made from funny bones at my wedding. I didn't get a chance to dunk with it, though. I don't know what funny bones are. Is that a cookie? Is that
funny bones?
Or is that just an American thing that I don't know about? What are funny
bones?
No,
I don't know what that is, actually. Funny bones.
Funny bones. Is that like a Twinkie type thing? Let us know, Garage Poets. I'd be interested.
Yeah, let's know what that is. I don't know what that is.
See, Gola knows. Gola, hi guys. It's been a while. How y'all been? Gola, let's sit. We're sitting down and we're all catching up. Catching up with the holiday havoc, the holiday feels, all of it. Oh, Leslie says, thanks, MJ. We betcha. Zap loves digestives. Books with Nola World Market sells Panettone here in the U.S. You can also get Panettone at like TJ Maxx and Marshalls. Like it's crazy for the holidays. They have all these like imported treats that you can get. The snow is festive. Thank you. Almighty Om, how are you? Jenny Parks, Mr. Kipling makes the best mince pies.
We used to do a thing, can't do it anymore, but we used to do a thing where we buy different kinds of mince pies and do a little rating or decision about what ones were the best ones, get from different supermarkets. We did that like every year, but not allowed to anymore because we can't buy that many mince pies. So we get probably, I don't know, I think I'll probably buy about 3 or 4 packets now through the whole Christmas period. We used to have about 15.
Okay. So here's my history with mince pies, right? Is as a kid, my dad's side of the family celebrated the English side, right? So we would have plum pudding after, the Christmas Eve meal. They, one year my mom was on this thing. My mom's a stay-at-home mom and she was a great cook, but she got bored around the holidays. So like one year, like she comes out to the table and she made a duck. And another year she made a goose. And I'm like, am I in a Charles Dickens book or something? Like we're having Christmas goose? Like what's going on? Because usually we would have turkey. We'd have turkey like all the high holidays, So mince pie or mince meat pie that they would call it. My aunt would always make it. And I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I'm not going anywhere near it because I just had all of these things going in my head about what is in this. I just thought it was like fruitcake in a pie, right? So I avoided it. So now that I'm like half a century old, I want to try it. So Roy from Roy Reads Anything gave me a recipe from this lady, I guess, over at the BBC. And she made the tarts, right? But I'm going to make little itty bitty bite-sized ones just to try it. Do you think I should vlog it?
Yeah, vlog it. That'd be awesome. Yeah. And then you can the final moment of the vlog is you going, oh, what is this? You know, because some people love them and some people don't love them. I love them. I think they're awesome, but it's not for everyone.
I did that with the Marmite.
Yeah, Marmite.
Yep.
Marmite's a strange beast.
I like it though. I like the savory. I like it. All right.
Yeah.
Gola says, I like the snow as long as someone else shoves it. Yeah. I meant, we know what you meant. We got you.
Yeah,
hey,
absolutely.
Brian, so what's going on? William says, where I live, we make homemade butter cookies in December. I'm down with that. That's good.
I like biscuits or cookies where you can really taste the butter. That's just awesome. I love that. You know,
I make a good homemade shortbread too. That's good. That's like, it's butter and powdered sugar, basically.
Make sure you make some when I come down.
Yeah. We made Christmas cookies at work Sunday. They're just about gone. I ate most of them. See, now I've been really good because I've been so busy. Usually I'd have cookies going all month long. I only had like one batch and they were kind of healthy, you know? So I think tomorrow and Saturday, I'm going to make them and then just like give them to people. Because if they're hanging around the house, you know, I'm going to eat them, right?
Yeah.
And I can't ship them over to you because they'll be stale by that time, right?
Yeah, I need to send you some hobnobs. I wonder if I can do that, or whether there's like an American, like a service where you can get them from somewhere in America, so it's not like they haven't got to make a.
Just don't do it. Just don't do it during the summer and check the reviews to make sure they don't come all crumbled because that would not be a good first hobnob experience.
Well, hobnobs are very easy to crumble. They're almost crumbled just by touching them.
Really? Okay.
It's part of the magic.
Ooh, well, I'm all about the magic, book songs and other magic. Michael Romeo. Hey, Michael Romeo, it's awesome to see you.
Hey, Mike.
Jenny says, as a Scot, there is very little I won't dunk, including a rowie? What is that? I don't know what that is.
It's a Scottish thing. I don't know actually, but I've heard of it.
Jenny
has to explain what it is, but that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian is down with some physics. I don't dunk because it cools off the tea or coffee.
Scientific reasons.
Very smart. That's the teacher in you, Brian.
Make another one. Make another cuppa. Yeah. Isn't it? Yeah.
Michael says Publix supermarket sells hobnobs. No, they don't. But I don't have any Publix near me. I'm up north. We don't have that. Damn it. Jenny says, just say the word MJ and we'll send you care package. I'm saying the word. Send me all your goodies. I want to try them all. Thomas McCarthy, fig rolls country here. I do enjoy fig. I love a good fig.
I don't mind a fig roll.
I have
dunked fig rolls as well, actually.
Yeah. Poppy seed roll is big in my area. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, you got a poppy seed roll and nut roll. You got to have that or go home. You know, let's see. Alan says, hey, y'all, waiting a train. He's taking us along with him. William says, if I get your videos in a chat, I'd show you my jars filled with cookies and biscuits. Nice.
Do a little short video, William, on it. That'd be awesome. Your recent shout out videos were great, by the way, William. That was awesome. Yorkies aren't for women. The Yorkie company did a series of adverts, and I don't know what the thing was about, but it was the message was Yorkies are for men, and it was like, if you're a man, you should eat a Yorkie. Very weird, but yeah. Wow. And then there's a sort of subtext. It's not for women. Very strange, but yeah.
That Yorkie bar was really good. That was like melt in your mouth, like fantastic, really good.
Cadbury chocolate.
Erie says there's a box of wine gums in the international section of a local store that expired in 2015. I believe it. Let's see. Check World Market. I get all my British and Australian snacks there. Ooh, so I could order from there? Is that what you're saying? Michael Romeo, I dunk ginger snaps in my tea. Now,
see, I think they're like ginger biscuits, aren't they?
Yes, they're like
ginger nuts. Sorry, ginger nuts.
They're like Nilla wafers.
Oh no, ginger nuts are thicker than wafers, so they're not like ginger. Ginger snaps are really thin, right?
It's not super thin. It is a cookie, but they call them wafers here, like Nilla wafers. That's actually what it's called, not like Nilla cookies. And
okay, there's quite a common biscuit over here called ginger nuts, and they're as thick as a digestive, but they're obviously ginger flavored.
Yeah, kind of the same thing, and probably like the size of a, I don't know what you want to call it, like the top of a soda can or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice dry cookie, but that definitely I might try dunking. Might. Let's see. MJ, after the holidays, are you doing support small booktube Saturday? Yes, after the holidays for sure. We're back. We're getting back on track with that. Go peanut butter. Peanut butter is awesome. Zap says, MJ, my grandmother used to say there were two kinds of shoe fly pie, regular and Dunkin'. The Dunkin' kind were dry pie. Let's see. Funny Bones are chocolate-filled peanut butter, like Twinkies. Yes. Okay. So it took me a while, but I got it. Yes. So you had a Grimm's cake out of that. That's awesome. I go to Dunkin' Donuts a lot, but I don't know anyone who dunks their donuts. See?
I love donuts. I really like donuts. It's something I miss actually because I don't have them very often anymore, and I do miss donuts a lot. And when I have them, I'm like, yeah, I really like them. Did you have donuts over here when you came over here?
I didn't have British donuts, no.
No, because I think they are slightly different. Although I think you guys have got what's the big donut company? I think one of the big companies over here is the same. Is from America, so I think some of our donuts are the same. But our supermarket donuts are very like specific to the supermarket. We get like an Asda donut or a Morrison's donut or a Tesco's donut. They do taste different. So I suppose that's different from the ring donut companies you get, like cream. What's they called? Donuts and cream. What's it called? I can't remember. I don't know. Can't remember what they're called. But yeah,
there's a local place that makes like donuts in the grocery store, and they take a croissant style flaky pastry, and they take a glazed donut and they smash them together. So it's like a glazed flaky. They call it a cronut. Glazed flaky donut, but it has like a croissant style to it. My
like
God.
A French donut.
It's one of those where you take it home in a bag and the bottom of the bag is like completely soiled with like sugar. Like it's just crazy.
Oh, that's yeah. Because donuts, when I was a kid, I just associated donuts with the seaside because obviously I live on the seaside. But if you go to any fun fair, they have donuts there where they got like a donut machine and they're like caked in sugar. And like you usually get them, and like the bottom of the paper is just like layers, like just like inches and inches of sugar. And that was like where everyone got donuts, and then clearly they're all over supermarkets now. But definitely that was in my head. I don't know if this is true for every British person, but in my head it was associated with the fun fair. And you went there, it's like candy floss and donuts. You get them at the fun fair.
Candy floss is cotton candy here.
Yeah.
That's what we call cotton candy.
And we have something called rock, which I don't think you guys. I don't know if you have where, So my fun fair is in Southsea, so it would be Southsea rock. So my son lives in Brighton. It would be Brighton rock, and it's like this. It's literally just a sweet that like a candy that has got the name of the place written through it, and it's just like literally just like eating sugar.
So we have,
like, yeah,
we have a thing called rock candy that was big when I was little. Like people,
it might be the same thing. Yeah.
It's kind of like huge crystals on like a piece of string.
Oh no, these it's like one like a tube, I suppose.
Okay, no, ours is different. Ours is kind of like a science class too. When you make it, it's kind of cool.
It might taste the same.
Yeah, it's all sugar. It's all sugar. Michael Romeo loves mincemeat pies with vanilla ice cream. Whoa. I ate a lot of Marmite as a child in New Zealand. I like it.
I like Marmite.
Me too. I'd suggest watching Tasting History with Max Miller. He made mincemeat pie with actual meat in it and plum pudding. Also, a ration-friendly version from WW1. Nice. Oh, this time of year, there are all kinds of homemade cookies in the cupboard. Shortbread, gingerbread, icebox cookies, pure heaven. Yep.
Nice.
Okay, Jenny's going back on that cookie. It's a type of roll. Don't Google the ingredients as you'll feel your arteries hardening just reading them. That's a rowie or a rowie? Rowie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Scottish thing, isn't it?
Aaron read a book. Hi, Aaron. Hi, all. I missed the beginning of this chat, but hobnobs are the best dunker. Okay.
Yeah, Aaron would love hobnobs. I know he would.
Yeah. Gola is also on team non-dunker. Doesn't like the crumbs in his coffee or tea either. Yes. Oh, Jenny Parks, them fighting words, Aaron. I dunk donuts. Yeah, a lot of people do. It's a thing. Aaron read a book. What do you dunk, Jenny? Shortbread. Krispy Kreme. Do you guys have Krispy Kreme over there?
Oh, Krispy Kreme. Yeah, that's the company. Yeah, Krispy Kreme. Yeah. My daughter worked for Krispy Kreme for a little while. We've got two big shopping centers in this city, and there was a Krispy Kreme. There still is actually. Yeah, there's a Krispy Kreme in one of them, and she worked there, and she used to bring back trays of donuts sometimes. She'd go, "Oh, these are leftover." I was like, "Why?" But yeah, they're like, so that's what I imagine would be American donuts, and you probably have lots of varieties as well. And our donuts, they've like our jam donuts and custard donuts or whatever the filling is. It's like, so they don't always get ring donuts. They're like just like one thing with the filling in the middle. Yep. Yeah, you get that as well.
Yeah, we have the same things going on. So we have the filled donuts, and then we have the ring donuts. Yeah, and Krispy Kreme, believe it or not, is on the healthier side of the donut.
Well, because there's a hole in the middle, isn't it? So
yeah,
that bit's healthy.
And also how they make them, it's actually not that bad. Back in the States a couple of years ago, they actually came out with a burger that was between a Krispy Kreme donut. Did you know that? Did you needed that intel?
Oh, I tried. We've just had a Wendy's open up in our main precinct, our main shopping precinct. That was what I was looking for a minute ago. I tried it and I really liked it. I was impressed. I thought this is much better than McDonald's.
Yeah, their fries are really good. I'm a
pro. I prefer Burger King, but yeah.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
We're just infiltrating your country. Buckle up.
Well, yeah, I think that's already happened. Don't worry.
Jess said, "Has anyone read Madame Laurie by Victoria Costner, Love, and Lorelei Shannon?" No, but it sounds really good. That sounds like a New Orleans book there, Jess. Hey, Em, how are you? Let's see. Everything but chocolate digestives are my top, along with Biscoff biscuits. Yes, Biscoff is here in the States. We do.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
My wife made a massive Biscoff chocolate cake, and she brought it into. Well, she did it for her work. She works in a school in the kitchen. She did it for the kids, and she had some left over. She drove it round to the college, and it said, "I don't know what you want to do with this." And it was this massive cake, and I was like, "All right, thanks." And then I just sort of wandered around the college, the members of staff that were kind of friends, and like the receptionist who obviously has to work all day, doesn't necessarily get a lot of love. I was like, "Do you want a bit of cake?" And she was like, "Oh yeah." And they would look at it, go, "Oh my god!" And like, "Is that Biscoff?" Yeah, it's Biscoff, and they were loving it. So yeah, but she's really good at making cakes. She's probably not watching this, but she's really good at making cakes.
I'm gonna tell you a quick Biscoff story with a little musical. Ready? Are you ready?
Okay, cool.
Okay, so the husband and I won a trip to Vegas. Like, it was a radio contest. Like, never thought I would ever win. It was a new radio channel. I won a 3-day trip out to Vegas to go see the band Bastille, right? So nice. We're all excited. We're going out. But the thing that was awful was that you had to fly out on Good Friday, and you were gone for Easter. So you didn't get to celebrate Easter with family or anything. And I said, "It's free. We're going. We'll celebrate Easter another time." Like, whatever. So we're on the plane, and who do I see board? Now, my 50-year-old brain is going to suffer. The lead singer of the Babies, John Waite. Is it John Waite?
Mm.
Okay. John Waite played locally, and he sits in front of me on the plane. Okay. His hair is amazing. Like, his hair is everything you always thought it would be. Thick, that maroon color, just really cool. So he's sitting separate from the band, and there's not a lot of chit chat going on. So you think there's like, I don't know, power struggle or something, but there's not a lot of camaraderie with the band. So he asked the waitress for Biscoffs, comes over, gets them, snacking, whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, that's John Waite sitting in front of me. Like, as an 80s person, I'm like, whoa, this is huge, right? So all of a sudden, all of the stewardesses come out with these huge sleeves of Biscoffs because I guess he really, really likes them. And they gave them to him, and he took them off the plane. Just huge sleeves of these cookies.
I love that. So you learn that John Waite loves Biscoff. That's awesome.
He loves them. Yeah. And he and his bands weren't that friendly that morning. Maybe they were hungover. I don't know. But no, not a lot of chit chat going on a 7:00 flight, That's my Biscoff story.
I love it.
Right. Let's see. Jenny Parks didn't mean, but LOL. Aaron read a book. To be fair, I eat all biscuits within minutes anyways. Peter the Book Lover. I would like to dunk my beef sandwich in broth. It's called a French dip. I think it's great. I think it's great too. Dave Brzezinski. This chat is not diabetic friendly. Have mercy.
That's the thing. I'm living dangerously, Dave, because I have got it. It's type 2, which is not quite as dangerous, but I have got it. And I'm thinking that over Christmas I might have to have more of this, so that I can have more biscuits. This reduces your blood sugar level.
Oh,
I don't think it's supposed to work like that.
No.
But yeah, I need to see the doctor actually.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Let's see. Man, we got a lot of comments. There's 28 people hanging out with us right now. Okay, I don't know how far you are from New Jersey, MJ. There's a British store in Haddonfield that is full of food and sweets from Britain. I'm like 2.5, 3 hours away from Jersey. So, yeah. But maybe I could order online. That'd be fun. Gola. I still remember the old Dunkin' Donuts song from the show Zoom. I love Zoom. In the late 79, early 80s, it's stuck in my head to this day. I don't remember the song, but I remember Zoom. That was like one of my formative year shows, Yes, it is a New Orleans book. I knew that. Are you all from the UK? Gareth, am I from
the UK? You're only from the UK for about 4 days, weren't you?
Like 3, maybe. My heart, my DNA is in the UK, and that counts. No,
he might be asking the chat as well.
The what?
He might have been asking the chat as well.
Oh, yeah, probably. Here I'm thinking it's just all about us. Come on now. All right. Yeah, no, everybody's from all over the place. Mr. Mayhem, I have to bow out. Everyone, want to wish you a Merry Christmas and all the best. Stay safe. Same to you.
Merry Christmas, Jim.
That was a good one. Jess, now I have that song Missing You in my head. That's all I sang. And when I got off the plane, he was in front of me and he was waiting for whoever. And I'm like, do I walk up to him and say, I really love your music, or just walk away? What do you think I did?
You just walked away.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. And the thing that I could is that he's very short. He's a very short man. He's smaller than I thought he would be. And as a woman that is 5'8.5", I couldn't do it. I'd be like, I really love your music.
Could have knocked into him and said, I ain't missing you at all.
Oh, Dave Bretsky says, same here, Gareth. Dave, both of you need to start taking care of your health in 2024. All right. We're going to have healthy booktuber, I don't know, symposium or something.
I've actually literally deliberately not talked about it on my channel. So
but you talked about it here.
Yeah. This is the most I've ever spoken about it because it was quite a distressing thing for ages. Yeah. But I'm kind of reconciled with it, and I'm just thinking that I'll go to doctors, take my tablets. I'm going to do what I can, but ultimately I can't do what they want me to do. So we'll see how we get on.
You'll get on just fine. Trust me. All right. So Brian again. Brian's like a sniper from the side. Waite wanted to make sure he wasn't missing Biscoff at all. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Wasn't his band called something like Broken English or something?
Bad English.
Bad English.
Bad English. Turn in your 80s card.
Broken English was actually a band.
You were in?
What was the song called? It's actually the lead singer of Broken English ended up being in a Stones tribute band he was the boyfriend of the sister of one of my wife's best friends.
Oh, so like a 5 Degrees of Kevin Bacon deal.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Broken English. What's that song called? It's quite a cool song, but it sounded exactly like the Stones. It's no surprise he ended up being a Stones tribute act.
Nice. Zap says, "Be careful, Gareth. I started out on the metformin, but now I'm on insulin."
I'm on insulin as well, Zap. So I didn't want to show you needles because that's just horrific. That's just scary. Yeah, but yeah, sharp edges. You can't have that on a live stream.
No.
Bad enough I showed you scissors. Hey, that's scary. Scissors, you can hurt someone with
that. No.
And I hurt my biscuit with it. My biscuit's in the right state now.
You're performing surgery. Michael Romeo says, Zoom was awesome. About your age too. Yeah. The Babies, isn't it time? It is a good song. That is a good song, Jay Nicole. I'm telling you. There's certain songs that are classic songs that you haven't heard in a long time that as soon as it's on, you have to crank it up to 11, right? What's one of those songs for you?
I tell you what, there's a song that feels like a guilty pleasure. Yeah. You would definitely know it, and probably most people in chat will know it. And I do, and partly there's sort of like cheesy 80s rock is part of my childhood. It's something that like I really love it, right? And my wife always rolls her eyes out. She goes, "Why do you listen to this stuff?" You know, so that's probably partly why I think it's a guilty pleasure. Right?
Back up, cheesy 80s rock. Define. Give me an example.
Well, if I tell you the song I'm going to talk about, you'll know exactly what I mean, right? So, but it's a lovely moment where with one of my close friends who was the bass player in our band for 10 years. And we had this amazing moment in the car on the way to a gig. And I said, we were just playing stuff. He was playing he was playing Van Halen and stuff like that. Mm. And I said, Dylan, I'm going to tell you a song that I really love, and I'm just going to tell you this because I think we've got the same taste, but you're probably going to think I'm an absolute lunatic, but I'm going to tell you anyway. And I made this big deal about the fact that I was really embarrassed to tell him that I loved the song. And I said, this cheers me up. Whatever day it is, if I put this on really loud, I always love it. Nobody ever talks about it. It's just a song that there's like, I love it so much. And he was like, what is it? And I said, The Warrior by Scandal, Patti Smith.
That's a good one. That's good.
It's an amazing song. And he went, oh my God, I love that song. And then we played it incredibly loud. We were like literally entertaining the entire population of Portsmouth with it, driving around going, I am the warrior. But yeah, it's definitely cheesy. But I love that stuff.
I mean, the video is good. The video is really good. Do you remember the video?
Yeah. I watch it a lot.
With the makeup and everything?
I watch it probably every week.
It's so good. Now, I would put cheesy 80s with like Bonnie Tyler. Bonnie Tyler, Total Heart is cheesy. Turn around. Yeah, totally. We're gonna have a sing along one of these times, you and I.
The Jim Steinman's quite special, isn't he? Some of his they're so melodramatic. His songs, it's just hilarious.
Mm-hmm. It's like a romance novel.
Every now and then I get a little bit lonely, and it's just like, just get to the point. That's brilliant. Hilarious.
Garage says mostly YouTube, but everyone else also. Yes, I'm in the States. Gareth is over across the pond, and we're best buds. Dave says, I once stood next to Robert Plant at the bar. Oh God. That was the year I went to Cropredy, Dave. We were literally on the same festival field, and we didn't know. So that's 5 degrees of Dave Brzezinski.
Yes, that's 5 degrees of Dave Brzezinski. Because the 1 year I went to Cropredy, and since then I've tried to get to play at Cropredy because I've played with Dave Pegg a few times. He's guested on stage with me and stuff, and he's like, we've supported him a few times. And I sent him a message. This is like for any Fairball Convention fans and who know about, and the Jethro Tull fans as well, because Dave Pegg was in Jethro Tull, and it was really cool that I was supporting him and we're chatting to him and stuff. And I sent him an email saying, because I knew that Fairport Convention had played at Cambridge Folk Festival, because I really want to play at Cambridge Folk Festival. It's one of the big festivals in this country. And I sent them an email saying, "Hi, Dave. I'm sure you remember Bemis. We supported you a few months ago, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I'd love to get a chance to play Cambridge Folk Festival. You can let me know how to do it. That'd be awesome." And he sent a message back saying, "I'm sorry, Gareth, but I'm the worst person to tell you because I don't massively get on with the people at Cambridge Folk Festival." Oh, okay. That was a waste then, wasn't it? But yeah, he's a lovely guy. Anyway, so Cropperly Festival is a really good festival run by Fairport Convention. And the one year I went as a punter, Robert Plant turned up as a surprise, and they did, I'm pretty sure they did Stairway to Heaven, I think. Or did they do Black Dog? They did one of them, I think. Or did they do Rock and Roll? But anyway, it was awesome. And nice surprise. And that's the only time I've seen Robert Plant live, actually. But yeah.
I've seen him with his Manic Nirvana tour. His Manic Nirvana tour, not Now and Zen. It was the next one, Manic Nirvana. I went to go see him in Philly. And Alana Miles. Remember Alana Miles?
Yeah.
She was a one-off in the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah,
so she opened for him, and the concert was just amazing. It was amazing. But Dave Brzezinski, you stood next to him. So how tall is he? How tall is he? These are the things I need to know. These are the things I need to know. I was a little disappointed. I don't know. I think I told you when I met Keanu Reeves. He's not as tall as you think he is. No.
Can I tell you a really?
Your girl's doing the looking down a little bit, you know. And I don't know if it was the slope that we were standing on, but I'm like, Neo is in front of me, and I could kick his ass, you know.
I'm not very tall, MJ. So when you met me, did you think, God, who was this little sprite? I'm not too sure.
I made sure I didn't wear heels. I wore my Converse when I was meeting you. Let's see. Garage Poet said, "I've never heard of Hobnob, so I was wondering where the disconnect was from. I'm near Boston." Boston, nice. Jess, so looking forward to doing the 24 and 24 band book challenge. Yeah, there's some great chats going on over at my Discord about that. Some really intelligent conversations, doing deep dives. So Jess, if you want to hop in there and get in on that, feel free. Oh, Vamp Fangs is a vampire store here in Salem. They are having pictures with Krampus for the holiday season. I got my picture with Krampus. I got my picture with Krampus one year. That was one of my first year booktube videos. You can go back and find it, and you'll see my picture with him at the end. Yep.
Is there a big kind of occult aspect to Salem? Because obviously historically there is, but do they kind of celebrate it there now?
Yes. It's a 365 24/7 like tourist destination during Halloween. Like that's when it's lit. Bagola lives there. Right. So, you know, he would be able to tell you more than me, but yeah, Salem is definitely it's a place to be.
That's really fascinating.
Here we go. Here's another one. Bookish Sniper from the Side. Modern English would stop the world and melt a Biscoff in tea with you.
That's good. He's having a great time with that. I love it.
I love it. Nobody wants me to crank my music to 11. Oh.
He's a metal fan.
Oh, like metal?
Yeah, proper metal. Yeah.
We
talked about Tool before, eh?
We're not going there again with the proper metal.
Yeah, that's true. But no, I think both of us like Tool from what I remember. I love Tool.
Tool? I do not enjoy Tool.
I really want to see them. I haven't seen them.
No.
There's a few people I haven't seen. I really want to see Alice in Chains. I want to see Maiden, but I'm kind of resigned to the fact I probably won't see Maiden. But I'd love to. They're so expensive to see.
Yeah.
But I'm well impressed they're still going.
Yeah, definitely. Who's the lead singer for Alice in Chains now?
Forgot his name, but he's really good. I forgot his name. It took me ages to get used to the fact there was one, which is silly. Because I always say people should get replaced. I'm well up for that. I think the rest of the band deserve to keep playing. Journey. Yeah, Journey. Yeah, they've had. I mean, there's lots of examples, isn't there? People that have kept going. I think that's a good thing. But I haven't learned the guy's name, but he's really good. And I've seen him do the old stuff on footage on YouTube and that, and he's really good.
Cool.
I think the rest of the band are the same.
Dave says, and of course, Marianne Faithfull was close with the Stones. She recorded a song called Broken English. It's all connected. It's all connected. Ooh. Thanks, Dave. I'd like to smash my Biscoff by Prodigy. Do you know that Prodigy album is one of my all-time favorite albums ever created? It's that good.
It's really weird that my son did the degree in professional musicianship recently. He graduated about a year ago, and his business tutor was the drummer from the Prodigy.
That's awesome.
So they're mates now. He goes to his gigs and stuff, and he says, good one, Louis, or whatever, and it's quite cool.
Fat of the Land is one of my all-time favorite albums, and now I'm like 4 degrees in, 2 degrees in, 1 degree in. That's awesome. See? Lee's Library. I remember having Biscoff spread this year. Texture is like smooth peanut butter, but tasted nothing like. If I were a child, I'd just eat it out of the jar. Very addictive. They sell that in my market, and I have not gotten it. What? Oh.
I love the image of just taking that from the jar. What's this?
Booker says shooting at the walls of heartache. Bang, bang.
What a great song.
How much can we sing without getting like a copyright strike?
And she's I keep watching footage of her doing it now as well. And she can still sing now.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's amazing.
Yeah.
How about Peter the Book Lover says Livewire by Motley Crue is a song I like to turn the volume up to. That's an amazing song. This morning I was listening to a channel called Hair Nation, which is all like that type of music, and it's fantastic. Nikki Sixx is 65.
Yeah, I know. When you think like that, you go, whoa, hold on a minute. Where's time gone?
He's 65. 65. Okay. And if I wasn't married and he said, hey, MJ, he'd be like, hey, MJ. I'd be like, yes. Yes, Nikki. Jess Bookgirl, I love the Warrior back in MTV days when they played videos. Amen to that. Plant has been at Cropperty a few times, though. He'll probably be there.
Fair enough.
About it.
Yeah, mine was 92.
For a while, I worked with a man who was the college roommate of Supertramp's saxophone player. Nice. I love that. My Poor Family, Total Eclipse is stuck in my head now, and I'll be singing it loud and proud all night. That's right. Turn around, tease your hair, do the makeup. You got it. Sandy Denny on Zepp album.
Oh, nice. Sandy Denny, awesome.
Yeah, I also like the XS. I don't know who XS is. Is that a band?
The
XS?
Well, INXS. I'm a big fan of INXS.
INXS, wonderful.
Yeah.
Dave says they never done Stairway to Heaven. I think I have the recordings of all the Robert Plant appearances at Cropperty. Okay. So are you saying, Dave, that you're always at this Cropperty thing? Is that what you're saying? I think
he might do. I mean, there are people. Usually, most people that go there go every year. It's a real kind of. It's got a family vibe to it.
Cool. Storm Reeves is here. Hey, Storm, what's shaking? We're almost caught up. Thanks for letting me know. I have to go. Nice chatting with you. Okay, yeah. Happy holidays. Yeah. I also like the song "It's a Heartbreak."
Yeah, it's Bonnie Tyler, isn't
it? Tool, Dark Violet. Heard that one. I saw Tool last year. They were great. Don't like Tool. No, I don't like Tool. No, at all.
It's quite ugly music in that sense. It's not going to cheer you up, but it's nice if you want something intense.
Tool kind of hit the scene with 9 Inch Nails around the same time. Is that about right?
Yeah.
I would take 9 Inch Nails over Tool any day. It was just their videos before, like they showed their faces and stuff. It's kind of disgusting, and I didn't really get it, And
the videos are very dark.
And the songs always, made me think of like angst. I don't want to listen to angst. No thanks. Best light show I've ever seen. I've never met Chris I have that. I never saw Chris Cornell live. Yeah, he was on my list too.
Yeah, I'd love to see Chris Cornell live.
Yeah. His song Sunflower, when I hear it on Hair Nation, they'll play it once in a while. It's so effing beautiful. Like it's just so good.
He was very special, I think.
Yeah. A friend bought a vintage jukebox at an auction. Every selection was I've Never Been to Me. Who sings that? I've Never Been to Me. I know that song, but it's stuck.
I don't know. That's an amazing story. Yeah. Every single selection was the same song. Yeah, that's amazing.
I would have questions about that too. My gosh.
What's the point in having a jukebox?
Yeah. The thing about Fairport Convention's Property Festival is that it is the only festival that people like Percy can go to the main bar on site and people could chat with him, but he wouldn't get mobbed. Who's Percy? Do they call Robert Plant Percy?
I don't know.
So basically, you're saying, a celebrity can go to the bar and they won't get mobbed because everybody's pretty chill and cool.
Yeah. Well, that is true. That's definitely an aspect to the festival. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
There's a few festivals like that actually, because I think there's a trade union based one called Torpor Martyrs Festival every year, where Billy Bragg usually plays it every year, and he can wander around, not get bothered too much, and he'll chat to anyone that goes up to speak to him, and he's quite a big name, certainly in that kind of area as well. So yeah, it's nice when you get that kind of family feel.
Yeah.
A lot of the festivals I do are kind of middle-sized festivals. So the celebrities, if they do mingle, they don't get hassled. But yeah, that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ellis has to go. Bye, Ellis. It was wonderful seeing you. Peter the Book Lover, I think Undertow by Tool is an awesome CD.
I love that album so much. I've listened to it to death.
Nice. Dave said, a friend of mine played guitar with a Prodigy for a while. Wow. See, it's all connected.
Yeah.
There's a big goth vampire scene here in Salem. Oh, yeah, there is. Ginger's here. Hey, Ginger. Jenny says, every time I hear Total Eclipse, all I see is that YouTube video where they actually sing what's happening in the video instead of the lyrics. That's funny. Oh, Michael, who is Tool? Yeah, no, it's okay. You're not missing out on anything. How about
it's dark, Michael? It's dark. It's not quite.
I'm responsible for making Michael Romeo Talks Books a Gaga fan. How about that?
I know. It's not the same, is it? Gaga's a little lighter.
Oh, yeah. But he's like, really? And I'm like, just listen. And he's like, thank you.
Well, my students always want to play Tool songs. And it's always the guys who play guitar and play drums that always want to do them. And most of the singers I get are female singers. So it's very hard to get a full band together to do a Tool song. Yeah. And they never choose my favorite Tool song. So my favorite Tool song, you can imagine what a light and frothy song it is. It's called Prison Sex.
Oh, gosh.
But it's an awesome song.
Okay.
It's not very nice, but it's such a brilliant song.
Doesn't sound nice. All right.
So the dark side of your brain.
Okay, let's see. Another time at Cropperty, I told Pete Shelley of Buzzcocks the last time I saw him, we both had dark hair on top of our heads. That's funny. Yeah. Trying to listen to y'all while watching the UK Kentucky versus Louisville game. Is that basketball? Is it basketball? Or is it
UK?
Or is
Kentucky
it? Yeah, University of Kentucky. Is it basketball or football? I think it's basketball. I don't know. I'm not sure. There's
baseball? Would it be baseball? Would it be baseball?
Not yet. They'll be doing spring training in January, February, I think.
Summer thing.
Not like I'm a sports person or anything, you know. Now you're talking my language. 9 Inch Nails. The angsty area was my time to shine.
Yeah.
If I could sing like one person who ever lived, it would be Chris Cornell. Yes. Just absolutely beautiful. If anyone in the chat has never heard his song Sunflower, go on whatever streaming thing and just type it in and listen to it, and your heart will just melt with the beauty of it. That's it. That's my Christmas present to y'all.
And tell you what, if this is nowhere near as good as Chris Cornell, but while we're there, if anyone's never heard of a band called Bemis, then check out their YouTube channel, Bemis UK.
Yeah, that's our friend Gareth. Yes.
You go, I ain't like Chris Cornell, is it?
What?
That's what people will say. They go, well, it's not like Chris Cornell.
Well, because you're Bemis. That's totally different.
I know. That's what I said to them. That's what I say back. I say, well, it's not the same.
No,
I agree.
That's right. But you're still music, and that's awesome. Garage Poets open mic. I always think of the Mountain Goats as the number band for writers, but maybe that's in my circle. I don't know. Maybe that's in your circle.
The Mountain Goats. I've heard some of their stuff.
I don't know.
Yeah, I remember liking it, but I need to look into it again. Isn't it kind of like, is it country rockish?
I don't know.
Um,
You lost me at country.
Kind of like Magic Numbers kind of sound.
I don't know. Let us know. Let us know, Garage Poets. Dave Brzezinski says Percy. Yes, it is Robert Plant's nickname. I knew that. How did I know that? I knew that. Robert Plant.
There we go.
But is he tall? Tell me what his height is. I'm obsessed with that.
I'm sure he's tall.
Bookish Brian, same with me. I don't think there was ever a better rock singer than Chris Cornell. Honest to gosh. And you go back on like the old stuff, right? Oh.
Yeah. Temple of Dog and all that. When he did
before that.
Hunger Strike. I love that song with him and Eddie Vedder sing together and all that.
Yes.
Amazing.
Even before that, he was on a movie that was in the 90s, and I can't think of the actor because my brain is just fried, but it was called
Singles. Matt.
Before Singles. I know Singles. I have that. That is one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. That is so good.
It's a great film. I was like grinning all the way through that film. I loved it.
Yes. The movie was called Pump Up the Volume, and it was kind of a take on like a Howard Stern, but the kid was in high school and he was an introvert and nobody knew, but everybody would tune in to like shortwave radio to listen to Harry do his radio show. And
Christian Slater, right?
It was Christian Slater. Yes. The soundtrack for that album is Chef's Kiss 90s, and Soundgarden is on there with one or two tracks. Just phenomenal. Like
they're amazing. I had to do it didn't end up happening, but I was asked to do a Desert Island disc. I had to choose 8 songs out of the millions of songs that I love. I choose 8 songs for this Desert Island discs interview thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, how am I going to choose 8 songs? But one of the songs I did choose was Rusty Cage by Soundgarden.
So good. That is such a good
song. Insane song. It's so wonderful. Incredible. Everything about that song is just insane. Yeah. Yeah.
Brian said, I almost top type prison sex is great. Dark past bookish.
Last year, my students wanted to do a song. Well, they did do a song by 1975 called Sex. And it became a bit of a running joke because we'd be looking at the songs I need to rehearse and run through and show back. And it'd be like, okay, can you guys do Sex? And it was just like a constant and they'd be like, oh, do you have to make that joke every time? It's like, look, I'm just asking you to run through the song. Come on, guys, get out there and do Sex.
Eddie Vedder and Chris Cornell were in the same band for a bit. They had some pipes. Yes, they did. Temple of the Dog was amazing. Yes, Leslie, don't dislike me, don't hate me, but we are a North Carolina Duke household. I know. Yeah, I just had to put that out there because people may not like my basketball team, and I get that a lot, and that's okay. Dave says, none of us have the same taste. Exactly. I like Tool. I prefer NIN, but I much like hair. I don't like much hair metal, but I was older in the 80s when adverts recorded No Time to Be 21 was 21.
Ah, yeah. It's a bit older, yeah.
Yeah.
He may have come through the punk scene, mightn't he?
The what? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just saw a really awesome comment.
Which one? That one? Yeah.
That one.
Bemis. Do you have Bemis merch?
Yeah, we got Bemis merch. You can get t-shirts and all that from our website, which is bemis.band. But also, you can buy digital versions of all our albums on Bandcamp, and I'll get or the band gets massive percentage of money on Bandcamp. It's much better than Spotify paying for the band. And I did a solo album as well during COVID, and that's on Bandcamp as well.
Okay. Gareth, I'm going to ask you a very important question. Are you ready? Do you have all of that? Do you have all of that information in your about section on your YouTube channel?
No.
You should, because people will buy your shirts and they will buy your albums. Put that information in your about section, Gareth.
It'll be huge. I do too many things. I don't even list my books that I've written. I'm terrible.
Well, get on that. Fix it. You can do it. Yeah.
I used to, but then I thought, oh God, I keep going on about it. So I felt a bit embarrassed about it, so I stopped doing it. Why am I holding my scissors like I'm going to do something with them?
Because you were trying to get a chocolate digestive apart.
Got to cut something. I need to cut something. Dogs. Ralphie.
Let's see. Williams Library. I should make a video telling the story of my first concert I attended in 2001. I remember it very well. First concerts are amazing. My first concert was Expose. Come go with me. Oh. Yeah, it was an 80s girl group. Yep, that was me.
Nice. My first concert was a real experience. I was 18, hadn't been to it. We didn't have a lot of money when I was a kid. So I was 18 before I had my proper first concert. Thankfully, my kids had gone through like loads of festivals and stuff when they were really little because of their dad being in a band and all that. But my experience was much later. So I was 18, and it was a really funny situation where I was working in HMV, which is a record shop over here.
Yeah.
And someone came to the counter buying an album by The Men That Couldn't Hang, which is a band that kind of on the same circuit as the Pogues. So obviously they you know about the Pogues. So similar style, but not quite as Irish, but similar kind of sound, a similar kind of fan base. And he bought his album. We were chatting away, and then he said, "Yeah, I'm going to see him tonight." And I was like, "No way!" It's like, "Yeah." And then just this is a random stranger, and just out of the blue, I went, "Can I come?" He's like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, right." And then I was like, "Okay." So I bought a ticket, and then I just randomly went with this guy in his car to London and saw the Men Can Hang and the Mean Fiddler. It was an amazing night, and I got absolutely beaten up like crazy because I didn't know about the mosh pit thing, and I was taken off. I was kind of protected by security, put on stage, and then the singer Kush, who became a friend as well, he dragged me off backstage, and I sat backstage for a bit, and then went back around to watch it again. So it was a real like whoa kind of moment, and it was really cool because that was my first concert. And then years later, when Beamer starts, and then we've supported them a few times. They were two of the members of that band were on our second album, and we're supporting them again next year, which is really cool. And that'll be the first time for a while actually. So yeah, so it's been that was the start of me going to gigs as a kid or as a teenager, and then later on, you know, I sort of met them and became friends with some of them and all that. So that was really cool.
Awesome.
A nice little thing, yeah.
I love that. Love that.
And the lead singer now is a lovely guy. It's a really nice guy.
So good. Let's see. Jenny Park said, "Never heard of Bemis, but they have a cool singer." Yeah, they do. Dave says, "Went to Property a lot between 1992 and 2017, but not since." I saw Soundgarden in '94 at Lollapalooza with Rancid and the Ramones. Oh, the Mountain Goats play a lot of different styles. They started as one guy playing his acoustic guitar into his boombox. Cool.
Nice.
I was at Lollapalooza in '93 when Pearl Jam was just about to break big. That was a good time. Ministry played. That was a good time.
Did Primus play that as well?
I don't think it was Red Hot Chili Peppers. Red Hot Chili Peppers were the headliner. I think Primus may have been either the year before. Year before was the first year, and that's when Susie played. Susie and the Banshees. And it kind of, you know, it went a little more rock the next year, I guess you want to say. Steve Fuller. Hey, Steve Fuller. Oh, Spoon Man is fabulously fun. Yeah.
Spoon Man. Yeah, I remember that.
One of my favorite rock vocalists is Arthur Brown. He's still got the voice even in his
he has. Yeah, he has. Arthur Brown. So obviously everyone knows Fire. Boo, I dare you to burn that one, right?
Yeah.
And I was really excited to see him at a festival we played at just after COVID. So was it just after or just before? Just before COVID. Mm-hmm. It was a really good festival anyway, a very proggy festival. Carl Palmer did a set as well. He's the guy from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. He did a set as well. But Arthur Brown, I was really looking forward to seeing him. His band were amazing. He did such a brilliant set. And he's in this, like, I think he was 76 or something. And his voice is amazing. And he kept changing costume. And he was all over the stage. And it was just like, this man is amazing. So, yeah, it was really good. Really, really good. and I had a very, very quick chat with him, because he was like meeting people at the he was kind of mingling a bit. So nice guy as well, and then the rest of the band did as well, actually. Yeah,
that's
really
awesome.
cool. Yeah,
Brian from Bookish, and it's raining ice picks on your steel shore. Yeah. Dave says my first gig was Hawkwind in 1974. I was 2.
I would have guessed that Dave was a Hawkwind fan.
Michael Romeo talks about my first concert was Queen. Well, you can't, that's a good first concert, Michael Romeo. That's all I gotta say.
I tell you what, Brian and Roger are still around, but I know that it's still, because I don't seem to be able to sort myself out. It's always going to be a big regret, I think, that I haven't seen them as a band. So I haven't seen Queen as a band. I've seen Roger Taylor in separate things. I've seen a Roger Taylor solo gig, and I've seen him do guest appearances a few times on things. Yeah. But I've never seen Brian live. I'd love to see Brian. Brian May is easily one of my all-time heroes. Yeah. I've never seen Brian live, and I'd love to. I don't mind so much as well. I'd love to have seen the whole band at the time, but it's not. It's still, for me, it'd still be a huge thing if I saw them now. But I just don't seem to be able to sort myself out. They're quite expensive, but yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Michael's first one was Queen. That's brilliant. What year was that? I'd love to know what year he saw them.
Yeah, what year was that, Michael? Do you remember?
Because I feel like I'm a bit of an expert on them, so I'd know exactly what was being played. If
Dave Lazeski says, "I have one Bemis album and the solo album. I'll try to get the rest one of those on Bookshop Fridays, so you'll get all the money."
Thanks, Dave. That is awesome.
Yeah. 1984, Texas, Jam Rush, Ozzy. 38 Special, Bryan Adams was my first concert. Cool.
Nice.
Bryan Adams. I think Bryan Adams is kind of an underrated American singer, songwriter, icon. Don't you think?
He's Canadian, but
oh yeah, that's right. He is Canadian.
Yeah, But no, I think he's seen as cheesy, isn't he? But I think it might be because they're all love songs or something. I don't know. But I think he's very, very good. I think he's very good. I think the quality of the songs are really cool. And Reckless, I think, is a masterpiece.
Give me 3 songs.
Somebody. I play Somebody a lot. Everybody needs somebody. Yeah.
That's a good one.
And Kids Wanna Rock. And obviously Summer '69 is a big one.
Yep.
But there's tons. That album, Reckless, if you haven't heard the whole album, every single track is brilliant. Yeah. And the last one, I Ain't Gonna Cry, is really, really good and really strong and really kind of you can tell that they were going mental in the studio. And apparently he had a bit of a breakdown through exhaustion after doing that album.
Oh. Was he into photography? He was dating a model. He was dating Linda Evangelista, or they were besties, one or the other.
Yeah.
And then his music kind of took a backseat a little bit, and then I think he was into fashion photography. But is he still making music now?
Yeah, I think he did a thing where he kept re-recording songs that were his hits and putting them out on his video channel. I noticed that was quite recent. He was doing like new versions of his old songs.
Wait, he has a YouTube channel?
Yeah, everyone's got a YouTube channel. When I was at school, I was nicknamed Brian because they said I looked like Bryan Adams. I don't anymore, but that's what they said when I was a kid. And like people would shout across the street, "Oh, Brian!"
Hey, Brian! Cool.
Actually, my name is Gareth.
I used to get that. You look like the bass player from the Bangles. Let's see. Party. My first concert was Elton John in Canton, Ohio in 1971. I told you this story. I saw Elton John and Eric Clapton on a double bill during the recession in the States. I got to see both of them, and the tickets were like $55. And they both played full sets. That was right when Elton got his like new due. Right.
I think Elton John was really, really good in the 70s.
Yeah.
I'm not so fussed about his career after that, but in the 70s, brilliant. Although I'm Still Standing. I think I'm Still Standing is a brilliant song.
Yeah.
But I think his best songs are in the 70s.
Elton John, one of my favorite Christmas carols. The Christmas one.
Definitely Christmas, yeah.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a fun song, yeah.
Bookish Bryans, can you imagine trying to keep up with Les Claypool in a band? No.
I tell you what,
No.
Scott, the just being in the same room as him would be an absolute life goal. So yeah, just the he'd make you act differently anyway, wouldn't he? And you'd just have a more of a laugh, and yeah, it'd be amazing. So I'd love to get the opportunity. If you know him, then get him to contact us, and we'll sort something out.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do a children's album, and I've written a couple of songs designed for children. There was one about there's one I wrote. So I'll get to the point first. How cool would it be, to the idea of making a children's album with Les Claypool?
That's awesome.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it? But yeah, I like the idea of it. And I wrote 2 songs. One that I think is actually genuinely a good song, which is a short song, which is very silly about animals, which I've contemplated putting it on my YouTube channel. It's on Facebook, but I was thinking about nip it on there. But another song I wrote was about the dogs, and it was like, they're really crap at getting mice, but Rosie is quite good at it, and she's a cat. And the song was called "Leave It to Rosie," and it was all about how you're really bad at it. Don't bother. You know, you're not very good at getting mice. Just leave it to Rosie. So it was kind of a song like that. So I wrote that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you: was this band over in England? This was a local band for me. This is Steve Fuller says mine was the Hooters, a good Philly band. MJ. Yeah, the Hooters were huge in my area. They actually played a local college, and really, really good. Love that band.
Well, they're one of my favorite bands, but nobody's ever heard of them. Whenever I mention to anyone, they go, "What?" But the song "Satellite" was a big hit over here.
Which one?
Satellite.
Oh, Satellite. Okay.
Yeah, that was a big hit. And also at that time, because I was a big fan anyway, and I don't think anyone else noticed, but they did do a really cool appearance on a variety show over here, which was called Saturday Live. So it wasn't called Saturday Night Live, but it's called Saturday Live. Yeah. And they did Carla with a K, which is off the same album. And I was so chuffed they were over here. But yeah, I've never seen them, because they have started gigging again, the Hooters, but I've never seen them. I'd love to.
I don't know. But they were a big thing. Day by Day. That was the song. That was the song for me, man. Doing that 80s dance.
They wrote True Colors, didn't they? And they wrote
yes.
One of Us as well.
On it too, right? Didn't the lead singer sing on it?
Yeah.
It's good. Good stuff. Michael Romeo said 1976. That's when he saw Queen.
Oh, nice. Yes, that's a great time to do that. Yeah, 76, 77. That would be awesome. Yeah. Nice.
Sweet. Williams Library says, I remember a concert 2001, how the local band got polite applause, but the crowd only got excited when the foreign band performed. Yeah, it happens. Dave Brzezinski, I love Queen's first 2 albums, but I actually don't like anything they did after that at all. I can appreciate the talent. It just doesn't do much for me.
That's interesting, because elements of the first 2 albums are in their other albums, so it must be something about the production, maybe. But certainly the Sheer Heart Attack album, the 3rd one, and Night at the Opera and Date the Races have definitely got elements of those first 2. So yeah, interesting.
There was a movie, oh God, I don't remember, Iron Eagle. The movie's called Iron Eagle, and Queen did a track for it called One Vision. You play that at the gym, and I turned into Super MJ. You have no idea the strength that comes out of it.
That was a huge part of my childhood, One Vision. So when that came out, I was already completely obsessed with them. And that's off the album A Kind of Magic. And just before the album came out, I went camping with my friends. So I was about 15. I think, I can't remember what year it came out. 86. If it was 86, I think it was 86. I was 15.
Sounds about right.
And through the whole camping trip, I kept going on about I wasn't going to spend any money on food. I'm saving up my money because I wanted to buy an album. Right? And they were like, "What are you doing? Just buy something." I go, "No, it's all right." And I was eating cold tins of sweet corn and stuff like this because I was a kid. I didn't have any money, and I wanted to get this album. And at the end of the camping, they were like, "You're a lunatic. What are you doing?" I was like, "No, I'm cool. I'm happy." And then I went to the shop after the camping trip and bought the cassette of A Kind of Magic, and I was so happy. And One Vision is the first track, and it's just an insane song. It's amazing.
So good. It's so good. Brian I
tell you what, though, One Vision would be a great. Sorry, I was going to say One Vision would be a great anthem for a fascist dictator.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or a chick that likes to do CrossFit. How's that? Brian says Bryan Adams is cheesy. He didn't have a lot of fans at the '84 Texas Jam. I will say that Bryan Adams is chick rock. Can I start a new thing? Chick rock. Mm-hmm. He's female fan friendly. We like to jam to Bryan Adams. Chick rock. Like
he's not cool. He's not feeling cool, and he's not edgy or dark or. That's why I said that. I thought he was cheesy. I think Brian's agreeing with what I was saying. That I think he used that because of that. That's the nature of the song. It's very light and fluffy.
Yeah. Are you ready for this one? Garage Poets wants to know, how can I hear Bemis?
Okay, so there is a YouTube channel which is Bemis UK, so you can watch us. But we're on Spotify. But on Spotify, you have to say BEMIS. So shall I test it out? No, not Spotify. Oh, well, it is on Spotify. So what's the face? Alexa, play BEMIS.
BEMIS, right?
No, it didn't work. Alexa, stop. You're stupid. Alexa, you're wrong. She said, thanks for telling me. Alexa, stop. Right, Alexa, play BEMIS. What are you doing? Alexa, stop. If you want to play Bemis on Alexa, it might take a while. Alexa, play DNA by BEMIS. Here's DNA by Bemis. Hey.
Will I get a copyright infringement on that?
No, that's right. Alexa, stop.
I don't want to get a copyright infringement. All right, so Garage Poets, you know how to play Bemis now. Bemis is the official band of BookTube.
It's my it's what I tell you what, it was I did this a lot more. BookTube happened for me because of COVID, so I had a channel that was my own personal channel before I decided to turn it into BookTube because basically the guy that I formed the band with left the band for a while, and when he left the band, the people that were still in the band or had just joined the band were like, Gareth, we need to do something about the fact that when people see us now, Richie's not there. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you want to do? And they're like, well, we need to take the Richie stuff off. And I was like, well, I don't want to do that. They did persuade me to do that, and then I still wanted them out there. So I thought, well, I'll start a channel that's just for me to put the stuff with me and Richie and solo stuff and that kind of thing. And then in the end, Richie came back, and it didn't make any sense for me to have a separate music channel. So COVID happened. And actually, before COVID happened, I decided to make it into a BookTube thing because I watched a lot of BookTube, and I thought, well, I'll do that. So that's why 3 years ago I became a BookTuber. But the channel's actually about 6 years old.
Nice.
So yeah,
we're glad you're here, buddy.
Yeah.
Dave says, I did love the parody version of Bohemian Rhapsody by Bad News, which Brian May produced a brilliant parody of his own guitar solo.
Yeah. He's quite down to earth, isn't he, Brian?
Yeah. Brian said, didn't the Hooters have the guy who played the keyboard thing that you blew into? Like a key flute? Not like a keytar.
It's called a melodica.
Melodica.
That's what it's melodica, and that's why they call themselves the Hooters, because it's a nickname for the melodica.
See, it's all tied together. Dave says, I know the Hooters well. They used to back Cyndi Lauper. Yeah. Steve says, I saw them at the University of New Hampshire with a cool band called Treat Her Right, which then became the Great Morphine.
Yes, Steve, this is awesome. So, Steve said a few things on my channel that, me and Steve need to talk. But Treat Her Right is such a good album. Steve, tell me if you know the song Marie by Treat Her. Everyone, after this, go and check out the song called Marie by Treat Her Right. It's such a lovely, cool, brilliant rock and roll song. It's really good. Marie, so good.
Nice.
But Morphine, do you know Morphine, MJ?
Morphine, the band or the song?
The band, Morphine.
I don't know. What's the song?
I love them so much. I don't know because they're kind of a culty band. I don't know what their most famous song is. Possibly it might be Cure for Pain. Have you heard of that?
How does it go? Give me a line.
Someday there'll be a cure for pain. No,
it doesn't resonate.
They're amazing, but they're quite niche, maybe, which is why they're a bit culty. But and it's kind of nicknamed low rock because he's got a baritone sax, a low voice, and it's kind of led by the bass. And it's only a 2-string bass as well, so it's only the lowest 2 strings. So it's got lots of low register stuff, but it's so brilliant. And sadly, Mark Sandman, the guy, the front man who wrote the songs as well, he died from drug abuse, which is partly what some of their songs are about. But yeah, Morphine is so brilliant. They're easily one of my favorite bands. I love them so much. And every time I have a sax player in my studio, I'll shove Morphine out and go, play a Morphine song. There's an amazing song called Thursday. Check out Thursday by Morphine.
Thursday.
Yeah, it's Thursday today. Yeah. It's a really dramatic song about a guy having a fling with this woman, and her husband is coming back to town. He thinks he needs to get out of the situation quick, and it's just so intense. It's brilliant. It's a really good song, and it's just so unique. I love it.
Cool.
Yeah, Thursday. Nice. So brilliant.
Steve says, yes, Brian. Dave says, I narrowly missed seeing Queen when they supported Martha Hoople in the early 70s. That would have been awesome. Yeah, it would have.
Yeah.
Iron Eagle was my favorite as a kid. Love Lou Gossett Jr. It was fantastic.
He's kind of underrated, isn't he, Louis Gossett Jr.?
Yeah, he was really good.
Yeah.
Let's see. On my way home, you're still on the train. Glad to see you still on. We're only on till late. I like Bryan Adams. Good. Dave says, I quite like Sheer Heart Attack, but I can't stand A Night at the Opera. Sorry. Hey, Reading This Life says Bemis.
Bemis.
I like Bemis. Yeah, Bemis. DNA is a great tune. Agree on the chick rock thing. My wife and I had 2 songs when we started dating. Hers was Heaven by Bryan Adams, and mine was Satisfaction Guaranteed by The Firm. The Firm had Jimmy Page, right?
Jimmy Page and Paul Rodgers. Yeah. I'm a big Paul Rodgers fan. Paul Rodgers, his voice went. He had an illness that affected his voice, and it was a big deal when apparently it came back and he was able to gig again. I saw a little report on it on YouTube, and it's just really nice to see because it was followed up by some footage, and he sounds great. So I'd love to see Paul Rodgers. He's definitely one of my top singers. Like he's in my top 3 singers easily. Paul Rodgers, I love him.
Love it.
You know, so he's from Free and from The Firm and from Bad Company. And all that. That's what, and he was the first person to replace Freddie in Queen, wasn't he, as well, Paul Rodgers?
Cool. MP Hunt, hi guys, I'm watching from work, so I can only nip in briefly. Is Gareth feeling better? No. No, I'm
not doing too bad, am I? I haven't done too much coughing, but yeah, I've got loads of medicine here, and I haven't even gone into my strepsils.
No, I'm gonna put on my best British accent. You're doing awesome.
Tom, mate.
Steve says Treat Her Right is epic.
Yeah.
Donald Fagen plays a mellotron.
A mellotron is a keyboard. That's an electronic keyboard. Mellotron. That's different from a melodica. Melodica is one that you blow in a pipe that goes into the keyboard.
Donald Fagen is Steely Dan, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, mellotrons were really big in the late '60s.
Cool.
The first King Crimson album had a mellotron on it, and lots of prog rock bands had mellotrons.
Steve Fuller said they are a very cult band, but they're very good. Like a 2-string bass. Morphine are one of the best bands. It's a shame you couldn't get Bemis on the Croppity Fringe. I saw Mary Jane, who I know you know. Ooh, that's
yeah. We've done some gigs with Mary Jane. Yeah.
He died on stage. Wow. Ryan Adams is better than Bryan Adams. I don't think so. MP Hunt. Honestly.
Well, Nathan's being very controversial because Ryan Adams has also been done for I don't want to misquote the situation, but I'm pretty sure it was a female minor, I think.
Yeah. He's gone. I love Mark Sandman. My favorite THR is I think she likes me. After the gig, I told Joe Quinn that they were both worth missing Richard Thompson on the main stage for. That's the only time I ever got kissed by a musician. Who's Joe Quinn? I don't know who Joe Quinn is.
Joe Quinn's the singer from Mary Jane. Yeah, she's really cool. Okay. We've done a lot of gigs with Mary Jane actually. There's a I don't know if Dave's ever in this neck of the woods to see this, but we often do every two. There's a really cool event that happens in an environmentalist place called the Sustainability Centre.
Okay.
And it's called the South Downs Green Fair. And we were doing it every year, and then lots of other bands complained to the organizer that they kept booking Bemis. So he sent me a message saying, "I'm really sorry, mate, but we can't book you every year anymore because people are complaining." So they want, other bands want a slot. I was like, no worries, we don't want to piss anyone off. And he said, "Well, you have to do every 2 years." So we do it every 2 years, and Mary Jane do it a lot as well. So we often do that gig with them. But it's a lovely event. It's really cool. You got like loads of stalls around. You got storytellers. You've got people doing like things with wood. It's in a forest, so you can go off and Richie often goes off and has like a moment in the forest, and then where's Richie gone? Oh, he's gone off for a wander with the trees, and it's just a really cool. Lots of like there'll be like people doing talks about solar panels, and like it's very cool.
That's
so
awesome.
South Downs Green Fair.
Very cool. Michael Romeo had a split. See you, Michael. Nice to have you here. Let's see, Dave. You can spot a Mellotron player by the way since when you mentioned those monstrous, hulking, impossible, keep in tune instruments. Jane Nicole says the Firm's Midnight Moonlight is a favorite.
Yeah.
What do you two think of the early Genesis with Peter Gabriel and Steve Hackett? I think Supper's Ready is one of the best songs ever recorded. I do enjoy early Genesis with Peter Gabriel. I've always liked that sound, if that makes sense. Late mid-'80s Genesis, Peter Gabriel, later like Sledgehammer, no. Just doesn't hold the same. It just doesn't do the same thing for me.
Well, for me, early Genesis I really like. I like all the 70s Genesis. I like some of the 80s Genesis. But Peter Gabriel is one of my all-time heroes. I absolutely love the man so much. He's just done a new album. I'm kind of hoping, I'm guessing, I'm going to say this on camera, and I don't think he's watching, but I think my son's got me the new Peter Gabriel album for Christmas, I think. But only because I'm just wildly guessing. I have no idea. But
have you been good? Are you on the nice list?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a nice chat recently.
Okay, good.
But yeah, no, I love Peter Gabriel. And I tell you what, one of my all-time favourite moments was when me and my daughter went to see Peter Gabriel live. I've only ever seen him once at, where was it? At Wembley Arena. And it was so amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I'll never forget it. Do you know how he finishes his gigs? Do you know how Peter Gabriel finishes his gigs? So every single gig, he finishes it with Biko. You know the song about the South African.
Yes.
Amazing song, really powerful song, and it's kind of carried by this drum pattern. It's like a doom da doom da doom doom da da, yeah, and then the song's built around that. And when he does it live, and it's got like this big chant that the whole audience sings as well. And when he does it live, it's the last song of the gig. Every single gig he does, the last song, and he gets everybody doing this big chant, which is like you just feel like you're all together in this sort of feeling of wanting to change the world kind of thing, feeling like that, all that sort of stuff. Really, really awesome moment. And you're doing all this, and then that's how the ending of the song starts. And then through the next sort of whatever it is, 10-15 minutes, each member of the band slowly leave the stage. So that the last person on stage is the drummer. He's like, dum, da, dum, and he's still drumming while everyone else is chanting, and the audience are chanting. Peter Gabriel's already left the stage, well before, and the drummer's still there, and then he drums for a bit with the audience chanting, and then he just stops, and then he sort of like, acknowledges the crowd and gets off, and it's just the most incredible thing. That's like one of my favorite endings. So
that's
cool.
Awesome. I went to see, so that sounds really familiar. I went to go see, my brain just doesn't work today. David Byrne. I saw David Byrne. He came local to do his little show that he had on Broadway and all that. And the way that his team, his band, which was absolutely incredible, left, it was the same thing. It would be one by one by one by one by one. It was just amazing.
Yeah.
Really, really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, he does that thing, doesn't he, where the band, all the drummers have got little bits of the drums and they've got them in their hands. I love all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a very visually pleasing show. It was just so good. Okay, so let's see. I thought Ryan Adams was later proven not to be true. If not, then I'm sorry for mentioning his name. He's just, like whatever. Dave says Mary Jane are superb live. Do me a favor and talk to them into recording a live album.
Yeah.
Saw Peter Gabriel in Chicago this year, and he was absolutely stunning. How old is Peter Gabriel?
Ask he's in his 60s.
Ask I think
he's 60. I'm going to go 64, 65, something like that.
Let me ask my phone. Do you know I have a British voice on my phone? Did you know that?
Have you?
Yeah.
Go on.
Why not? How old is Peter Gabriel?
Peter Gabriel is 73 years old.
73 years old? Wow.
He's 73. Come on.
Alexa, how old is Peter Gabriel?
Peter Gabriel is 73 years old.
She's English as well. Can you believe that?
Oh, yeah, it's a little trick you can do here in the States. Okay. Let's see. His voice hasn't changed a bit. And since should have been Wince autocorrect. Williams Library. I heard Peter Gabriel's song Curtains in the Mist 4 computer game. Wow, he's making some money for that. Are you familiar with the artist project Playing for Change? Check out Peter Gabriel doing Biko. Yeah.
Yes, I love that. I play those videos for my students. I watch them so often. Did you know the channel Playing for Change, MJ?
No.
Okay, so there's several things they do. One of the things they do is they go around doing these live shows, which any band would do, and it's like a collection of musicians. But the big thing they do, and it's just so brilliant, and it's a really lovely thing anyway, that kind of sends this really cool message. But musically, it's awesome and really clever. They go around the world and they create these videos where it's like a famous song, and each of these different people, these different musicians from different countries are involved in the same song. And there's usually a few celebrities in each of them. And and now and again, they'll do one with a bunch of kids as well. There's like a really cool one with Love Train with loads of kids around it. And Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers is playing drums. There's loads of kids around him and he's singing. It's just so cool. And Playing for Change, there's lots of political songs like Biko and so, songs that have got a good positive message, but there's a version of The Wait, and it starts with Ringo Starr playing and Robbie Robertson's in it. There's so much brilliant stuff. At Higher Ground, there's a really cool Higher Ground one, Stevie Wonder's song here, Higher Ground. Playing for Change is like an amazing YouTube channel and a really good project. I think that what they're doing is just really important as well. And it's just lovely. And they have each time there's someone on the screen, they'll say who they are and what country they're from. And there's just really interesting versions of the songs, different kind of takes on the songs.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to check it out. Putting it on my list. Steve Fuller says 76. Yeah, 76. How old he is. Peter Gabriel is older than me. Wow, Dave. Wow. Oh my God. We are completely caught up with comments.
No way.
I love that. Yeah. I love that.
That means we're not chatting enough.
we're in the present moment now.
But you said you're not into the Sledgehammer period of Peter Gabriel, but have you heard the whole album?
I think, to be honest, I think that I saw the video so many times, and literally that song was played like every single hour in the States when it was like it was just a lot. It was too much. Like the art factor of Gabriel at that time just went like.
It's a very clever video, isn't it, as well? It's Aardman Animations, isn't it?
It's a wonderful video, but I don't need to see it a million times in a year.
But I don't know. I'm clearly unbiased, but I would say check out the rest of the album because it's a very commercial song, and some of the rest of the album is much more like previous Peter Gabriel. So like there's tracks like Red Rain on it and Mercy Street and some absolutely incredible tracks. So do you know those as well? Yeah. And his duet with Kate Bush, man, it's just Don't Give Up. Don't Give Up is a masterpiece.
And that's wonderful. And I love Salisbury Hill. Like, I love all those. I absolutely dislike, what is it? In Your Eyes? No, thank you. That was my prom song. No, thank you. No, thank you.
I've done In Your Eyes in every choir I've ran.
Well, that's wonderful. But as long
I have a great arrangement of it. If you ever want to join one of my choirs.
I'm just saying that I don't need to hear that song because it takes me right back to 1990, and I'm like, no, thank you, I'm good.
Can I just tell you a little something I'll never forget, like a little teaching experience. I played In Your Eyes when I was just going through. I was talking about prog rock, and I said, "Oh, these are some of the things that they've done since then." And I talked about, how some people went solo, blah blah blah, and I played. There's a very famous bit of footage of Yusu Endor and Peter Gabriel doing the So tour in 1987, and they do In Your Eyes, and it's the most incredible footage. It's about 12-13 minutes long or something. It's such an incredible bit of footage, and I played it to the students, and one of my students turned around and said, "I think that's the happiest thing I've ever seen in my life."
Aww. Well,
It's like those people are having such a great time on stage. Do you know what I mean? And I thought, hey, that's a lovely comment because it is such a happy, lovely, joyous video. But yeah, amazing song. But yeah, In Your Eyes, it's a great song, man.
It's just it's just overkill for me. Yeah.
But I tell you what though, Don't Give Up. Yeah,
it's wonderful.
I think if I heard Don't Give Up every few hours, I'm looking at Kate across on my wall there.
Yeah.
I think I every few hours, every day of my life. I don't think I get bored of it.
Yeah, there are songs like that. In Your Eyes is not that for me. No, I don't need to travel back in time to high school. No, thank you. Okay. Next, Gareth. Steve says, Gareth, we need to be friends. Doctor Who, D&D, Peter Gabriel, Treat Her Right, and books. Yeah, well, I'm your friend too, Steve. Don't forget that. Gosh.
What's that about?
Dave says, I was still at school when the early Genesis albums came out, so I would have been slightly surprised that he had been 2 years younger than me. Steve Fuller says, MJ, we can't be friends now. Oh my goodness, In Your Eyes, shame, shame. No, it wasn't your prom song, Steve, so live in my shoes and you will get the experience. Peter Gabriel's Melt album is great as well, also known as 3, I think.
Yeah, I love the fact that his first 4 albums, he didn't give them titles, which is just ridiculous. And it's such a Peter Gabriel thing to do. But they're just like known by their album covers, aren't they? And what the image looks like, people gave it a nickname. And it's just like, just name the album, man.
It's funny not naming it. Beth says, Don't Give Up. Yes, a masterpiece. Agreed. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
The one I think the early song that I really love that I always I still carry my scissors for some reason. There's the the one about I can't. It's like the words are I was going through the music's going through in my head. I can't think of the title, but it's all about how he can't stop. It's what's it called? It's got like a thing going on in it. It's really cool, and it was amazing live. It's one of the first couple of albums. It's about obsession. It's such a cool band.
It's okay if you don't remember. That's all right.
No,
we get that. We get that a lot here. It's contagious.
Songs about obsession. What? Some good songs about obsession.
No self-control. Steve Fuller says no self-control.
That's it. No self-control. I love that song. Yeah. And I think, to be honest, I think it's because I feel like that all the time. I wish I had more self-control. All those people I've murdered. Shouldn't have done that. But yeah, no self-control. There's a great song about obsession by Billy Joel called All for Lena. Do you know that?
Tell you what, I'm not a fan of Billy Joel.
You're really hitting him now, aren't you? Like bang bang. He's my warm-up man. If I've got a gig in like 11 o'clock in the morning or something, and I think, I'm going to get my voice going really quickly, I'll sing along to Billy Joel, and that gets my voice going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually innocent man.
Nothing.
Not a fan. He's very good.
I'm sure. It's just it all sounds the same to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And it's like, so I've had Sirius XM was the first anniversary present my husband gave me, and that was 22 years ago. And I still have it. I enjoy it, love it, love it. They'll do dedicated channels to different artists, right? Every single year there's a Billy Joel channel, and I'm like, can we think of someone else? Like, can we add someone else to the mix? Do we have to have a Billy Joel channel? Like, didn't we already listen to all of his stuff already like a million times? I'm just being salty. He's just not a fave. That's all. He's not a fave. Okay, wait, hold on. Bookish has deep 80s trivia. What supergroup included Steve Howe and Steve Hackett?
GTR? Was it called GTR?
GTE, GTR, yes.
GTR. Hey.
Yes, yes.
That's cool. I got it right.
Oh, Dave Brzezinski. I had a period when I hated Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. I lived in a flat above someone who played it extremely loud at least 3 times a week and once 3 times a day. I loved it before, then, and now. Wow.
Yeah, Floyd are really big in Portsmouth, and Floyd are really big in my students. It's interesting. They've not dated. I mean, you know, you would think a band like Floyd, who are most of their songs are slow, they're really downbeat. Although saying that, downbeat is quite fashionable now, but they're not kind of commercial really, and they are so huge, and like 16-year-olds love them, and I just think it's really interesting. And when they'll come up with some songs to do at the student gigs, and I go, "Are you sure?" And then with the Floyd ones, I'm like, "Yeah, people love it because it doesn't matter what age they are, what you know, who they are. People love Floyd now. They still love them, and they'll love all the I Wish You Were Here and Comfortably Numb and Money and Time and all that stuff.
Yeah,
they love all that stuff. Yeah, I think the four, the ones between Dark Side of the Moon and The Wall are absolute masterpieces. The Wall's my favorite, but that's just a personal thing. I just love the storytelling aspect of it as well.
It's wonderful. And Bob Geldof.
Yeah, he was brilliant in the film. They apparently didn't like the film, but I might have just been Roger Waters didn't like the film. He doesn't like anything. I bet Dave Gilmour liked it because Dave Gilmour, I think, just seems to have a sunny disposition.
I'm sure. They're like oil and water, those two. That I actually saw them in Philadelphia back in the 90s.
Wow.
Yeah. That was a trip concert. Yeah. That's
cool. Yeah. I tell you what, they did it's interesting because these moments when you realize how much you appreciate or love something. And I said this recently about Luke Skywalker on one of my videos, but with Pink Floyd, they did that big reunion, didn't they? And the G8 live concert. Do you remember that? It was like quite early on. When was this? Like early 2000s, maybe? Can't remember. But it was just I was very excited to see it, and it was big news that they were going to play on stage together. For it was such a horrible split where it was they were in court with each other and they hated blah 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 blah, and then they were going to do this thing. And when I was sitting there, I'll never forget it. And my wife and a couple of her friends were sitting on the settee, and I was sitting in front of the TV on the floor, cross-legged, watching it. And I was bawling my eyes out watching Comfortably Numb. I was so powerful, so emotional seeing them doing it together. Amazing. Such a beautiful song.
So good. See, Dave says, I could happily live the rest of my life without hearing Billy Joel again.
Oh no, that Dave, that makes perfect sense. Billy Joel would never join Hawkwind, would he?
Bookish Brian says, I still don't like Dark Side of the Moon, and I've tried over and over. I find it incredibly boring. Did you do the thing when it was hot a couple years ago? What was it? Play Dark Side of the Moon to the Wizard of Oz movie? Is that a thing over there? Did you try it? Did you do it?
Yeah. That came over here. Yeah,
it's absolutely. Very interesting when you do that. Yeah. NP Hunt. I had a friend who was obsessed with Syd Barrett. He weirdly listened to him more than Pink Floyd. There you go.
No, I've met a few people like that. Yeah.
The Wall is the first Floyd album I wasn't keen on. There's a great EP in there. Comfortably Numb is great. Yeah, Comfortably Numb is great.
But I think with The Wall, I mean, there's if you're talking about songs that didn't need to be there, songs like what's that one? Don't Leave Me Now, when it's clearly like some sort of primal scream or something. But it was like some sort of musical primal scream. I think it's effective storytelling rather than musically interesting. Do you know what I mean? And like Vera, stuff like that. It's just nonsense, but it works for the concept of the album and the context of the album. So I think that's why I get what he's saying. There are a small handful of great songs, but that's not really what The Wall is. It's not just songs. It's just a great story. I think that's why it's so cool.
I think so too. Bookish is on fire tonight. Not liking In Your Eyes, MJ. Are you a commie?
Commie?
Sure. Listen, I'm not a commie. I have taste.
I love that. I think it would be better to say, "Are you some sort of fascist?" Because I'm sure Peter Gabriel would be very pro socialism and you know.
No, it wasn't your prom song, Brian. So leave it at that. Leave it at that. Hey, gosh, yeah, but yeah. A true story. Roger Waters. He tried to have a solo arena thing a couple years ago. Remember there was like news of that or whatever. I don't even know if it ever took off, but he rented out the local arena near me for like a month, and it was all on the down low. He was they had the stage and everything all set up, and he was practicing every single day there.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been doing stuff this year. He's had a tour this year because he had like people accusing him of anti-Semitism and stuff, and it was literally just because he was doing stuff about the Palestinian situation. So he was getting a lot of heat for that. But yeah, he tours quite regularly, I think. But I think I think him and Dave Gilmour have reconciled themselves. I think I don't think they're friends, but I think they can have very comfortable conversations now.
Okay, how old is Dave Gilmour and how old is Roger Waters?
I think they're in their late 70s.
Let's find out. How old is Roger Waters?
Roger Waters is 80 years old.
He's 80.
80 years old. I think he's 1 year older than Dave Gilmour. I'll try and guess he's 79. Go on.
How old is Dave Gilmour?
Dave Alvin is 68 years old.
That's not Dave Alvin. What's that about?
I don't know. How old is David Gilmour?
David Gilmour is 77 years old.
He's 77.
He's a little younger than that. So yeah, because he joined the band a little later, didn't he?
Yeah.
They needed someone to play guitar.
80. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Beth raises a wonderful point. The thing I love about music is you hear a song and immediately you are transported back to the time and place in your life when you first heard it and loved the song. Keyword, loved the song. Yes, I agree.
That's why it's so important what we grow up with and the songs that we love when we're teenagers, because they are such transforming years that they don't go away, you know. No. So if people do like get into stuff that's before their time,
yes,
that's cool. But that's a different experience than people that literally, like Beth saying, go back in time when they hear a song.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, when my mom was going through it with dementia, I would play the music that she listened to when she was in her 20s, and that spark came right back. That's the power. That's the power of music. Like it will just reignite memories in people that are suffering from memory loss issues. Yeah. Brian, no, go ahead.
And I was only going to say, I genuinely say to my students that music is magic. It is it is magic. You can't explain why certain notes and certain chords make you feel the way they do. There's no science in it. There is science in it, but you can't explain it through science because it's just weird. But it's magic. Yeah. It's incredible.
Totally.
You know, and the way that it can affect people with dementia is just amazing.
It's wonderful. Yeah. Roger Waters has released his own version of Dark Side of the Moon. I haven't had the courage to check it out yet.
I've heard it's a real disappointment, and I don't know. I mean, it's a very arrogant thing to do. Do you know what I mean? Just leave it alone, mate. You know, it's one of the most famous albums of all time, one of the most successful albums of all time. You don't need to do your own version of it. You know, it's very silly.
Dave says, I do love Syd Barrett. Brian says, my high school class song was We Are the World.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
We are the world.
We are the children. I like hearing the Kenny Rogers line.
We are the ones who make a better place, so let's stop living. You like that?
You just said, let's stop living.
I did. Steve Fuller says, oh.
The message. So let's stop living.
Steve Fuller says,
we're making for ending our own lives.
There's a great Wisconsin podcast called To the Best of Our Knowledge, and they did an episode on music and dimension. It was beautiful. I will share it over at Discord. Yeah, music is so good. Brian says, yeah, it was not my first or 50th choice for sure. Dave says, can't be a disappointment when you don't expect it to be good, for sure.
Yeah. But I think it's disappointing he did it, though. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing, because I like Roger Waters, and I just think I can get over the fact that him and Dave don't get on, because I love Dave Gilmour more. Mm-hmm. But it's like, it's a shame that they don't get on. Yeah. But Roger, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? Just get over yourself, isn't it?
Brian says, you guys singing is making me relive the trauma.
It's the trauma itself.
Brian, did you do Hands Across America too? Hands Across America would have been just in America. I don't think it went worldwide. We were supposed to make a bridge of people holding hands to go from one end of the country to the other. I don't think it worked, but we were out there trying. It was around the same time.
You wouldn't leave as many hands over here, would you? It'd be like fingers across the UK.
The size of England is like what? The size of Texas?
It's the size of probably your street. It's a tiny thing.
It's so tiny. It's so tiny over there. I did not do hands, but I know people who did. I did. I know. That was a weird moment in 80s culture for sure.
There was a metal song as well. What was that called? There was loads of metal bands got together and did a charity song for Africa. What was that called? I bought this 12-inch single of that.
So what? Sun City? That wasn't metal.
No. I bought that. I bought Sun City. That wasn't metal.
Good. That was good.
That was an amazing song. I love really that. And I tell my students about that song as well. But no, there was a metal song. What was that called? It was like bands like Anthrax and that were in it. What was it? It was quite heavy, but it was quite anthemic, and it was like one of those songs that they tried to make it commercial and stuff, so it wasn't like but I can't remember what it was called, but I definitely bought it. There was tons of bands in it. It was the same time, so it would have been bands like Scorpions and
I bought that album. Was that the thing that they did over in Russia?
I thought it was an American. I thought it was led by a couple of American bands.
Well, it might have been, but there was a concert that they played. I have the album. It was Scorpions. Gosh. Oh, who else is on there?
I'm gonna see if I can find out.
Okay.
But
yeah, I have that.
And there was a big anthemic bit in the middle where it was like they sang the chorus. It was like that classic sort of like jump, 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 you know, one of those moments. I'm gonna put in metal band charity song 80s Africa. See if Google can help.
There you go. NP Hunt says, have you seen the episode of the Goldberg about Hands Across America? It's hilarious. No, I don't watch TV, but I'm sure it was.
Weird Stars. It was 1985. It was called Hearing Aid.
Brookish called it. He called it. It was called Hearing Aid.
Yeah. So it's Ronnie James Dio. I love Ronnie James Dio. So it's Ronnie James Dio was involved. It was organised by him and Jimmy Bain and Vivian Campbell. Were all from Dio. So they did that, and they had loads of guests in it. And the song was Stars. We're Stars. Yeah. I love that song.
Cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't ring a bell for me though.
Yeah, the band was called Hearing Aid. Like for our Do They Know It's Christmas, the band was called Band Aid.
Yeah.
And they thought it was like Hearing Aid. There's a film that's just come out which I still haven't seen. It's on our Amazon. I don't know what it's on your at your end, but it looks awesome.
Where is it?
Amazon. 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 And it's what's it called? It's about a drummer going deaf, a metal drummer going deaf.
Oh yeah, that won awards. Yeah. It was on Amazon. It was an Amazon movie.
Yeah, starring Riz.
Yes.
Whatever his name is. Yeah, he's a brilliant actor.
He's like a hip hop rapper, and then he's also an actor.
Yeah, and he's really cool. He's in Star Wars stuff. He's also in he's in an amazing comedy that you should see called Four Lions, which is like literally taking the piss out of Muslim terrorists. It's really funny. Four Lions is a really funny film. If anyone in the chat has seen this film, it's amazing. But he's in that. He's one of the main. He's the main character in that. It's such a funny film. But this other film, The Power of something. What's it called? The Power of Music? No, The Power of.
I don't know.
If I put in Riz and then Power of, but anyway, I haven't seen that film, but I want to see it. So I was just asking if you've seen it.
No, I haven't seen it, but I remember the buzz about it when it came out. I want to say we're going back like 4 years, maybe now, maybe. Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, it might have been out for a bit. I'll put in the word deaf and then.
Okay, here's a great question from Dave.
Called Sound of Metal.
The Sound of Metal? Yeah, that sounds about right. All right, Dave Rozeski asks, what artists have you guys heard for the first time this year that you love or that you didn't expect to like, but you did?
Right, I've got an answer for that because now and again, whenever I see my son, he comes down and he gives me all this loads of new stuff and he goes, listen to this, Dad, listen to this, Dad, listen to this, Dad. And usually I like it, but it doesn't normally make me go, oh my God.
Right.
And to be honest, this might be what he got me for Christmas because I literally went, oh my God, when he played it to me. It's a band that's like a super group. It's made up of 4 people that are quite famous individually. They're all young. They're all like early 20s singer-songwriters or whatever. And they banded together to make this album that they called The Fizz. And it's really good. It's really clever. It's very kind of like, it's got the kind of creativity and madness of the most extreme Beach Boys stuff. So the most crazy Beach Boys stuff, like that stuff he did, like he was writing about vegetables and stuff like that. That kind of style of Beach Boys. But it gets heavy sometimes. But it's really clever and it's really good. And there's like crazy harmonies in it and it's really complicated. But I said this to someone else and then they come up with a different thing called The Fizz. So it might be difficult to find. But it's a new band. I think everyone in it is really, really young, so that might help people find it. But it's really interesting music. So that's a recent thing that I've discovered called The Fizz.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think for me, and I was completely taken off guard by this, but I really like Olivia Rodrigo stuff. Her song "Vampire" is beautiful. I absolutely love it. Yeah. And I didn't think I would like her. And I was just listening to like a modern channel on Sirius XM. And I'm like, she's talented. Like, she's good. She's good. I like it.
Yeah, there's another band that I've got into more recently who have been around a while, but I really love them. Now the bands just escaped me. Nothing But Thieves. I really like Nothing But Thieves.
They sound
them?
No.
It's a rock band. They're brilliant. If you like, I reckon, I don't know if this is a fair comparison. Don't criticize me on the chat, but I reckon if you like Foo Fighters, you'd like Nothing But Thieves.
Oh, cool. No, we like Foo Fighter for sure.
Yeah. I found a drink. I was desperately wanting a drink, but I've got this. I found this is like almost completed. Pepsi Max, not a big fan, but I'm thirsty.
There you go. Hey, David Olive's here. Just got home from his daughter's Christmas concert. What's cracking? We are. We ain't cracking up. Ryan James Dio was one of the good guys in metal. Yeah. Although I will say, he scared me when I was little. He scared me. I was a little, he was intense. He was intense. Yeah,
I've always been a big
the Dio logo upside down, and you're like, oh God, get me to church.
But he came up with this, didn't he? He came up with the
original.
Yeah, he's the guy that did it.
Yeah. Everybody's saying hello. Everyone's saying hello.
Someone said Bemis.
Yeah, Rodrigo was on the Colbert Show this week. Cool. Yeah, I did.
One of the things I was going to do it seems like a really pointless thing to do in some ways, but I think it's such a cool set of questions. I've thought about this a few times, and literally the last time I thought of it was yesterday, and people mentioned Stephen Colbert. I was thinking about the Stephen Colbert questions, you know, those like, what would you say to God and stuff like that. Have you seen those questions he gives to celebrities?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think they're really cool questions.
Especially the Keanu one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're really cool. What's your favorite sound? What's your least favorite? Or is that, am I confusing it with the Inside the Actor Studio?
Yeah.
They're good questions as well.
They are good. What's your favorite curse word?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, it'd be good to do a tag like that. I love the Inside the Actor Studio series. I thought that was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Really good.
Yeah, I used to get so excited when they appeared on. For us, they used to appear on Sky Arts. So there's like a channel that had lots of documentaries and concerts on there and stuff like that. And Inside the Actor Studio appeared on that. I love that.
It was really, really good. No, I used to watch it all the time, and I used to love like watching the audience. And once in a while, you'd see one of the students that was going to make it big. You know, it was. I think Bradley Cooper might have been in one of the audiences or something like that. Like, it was really cool.
Yeah, he was in because he was his one. His teacher, because he went to that acting school that is where it's set, and I think his teacher is there when he's doing the thing, and he sort of says how much he loves what she did for him and all that sort of stuff. So that's really cool. Awesome. I like Bradley Cooper. I'm going to go see Maestro when it comes out. I'm really excited about it.
I've heard it's supposed to be really, really good. I told you my Bradley Cooper connection, right?
Oh, go on.
Yeah, person I work with, I don't think it's his brother. It might be his brother-in-law. Was college roommates with Bradley Cooper.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
is he a nice guy? Does he say that Bradley Cooper's a nice guy?
Absolutely.
I think you're shaking your head. Go no.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, like you can't say anything wrong about him.
That's good. That's nice to know. And
he's always when my football team plays and they're playing at home, he's always there, which is nice. Because I think his mom is still what do you call it, on the East Coast. I think she's still in the Philly area. I'm not sure, not 100% on that, but
okay. I've just done a video actually talking about Bradley Cooper. I've just done a video which I don't know when it's going out. Probably second week of January, maybe, I don't know. But it's about films that have been attempts to restart a franchise, and how I think there's loads of examples where I think I mentioned 3 where it should have happened because they were good. So I really, really like the A-Team film. I think it's a really good film with Bradley Cooper as Faith.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good film.
I liked it when it was out, for sure.
Yeah, that was a good film. And then what was the other one I said? Oh, I thought the Miami Vice film was good as well, but that didn't do very well either.
No,
you know, with Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell, yes.
Yeah. Who's really good. I think he's a good actor, Colin Farrell.
Yeah, I think he settled down. He was, you know, man, you hooked up with Colin Farrell. Watch out. Dave Wisniewski says, I watched a great Iggy Pop concert that I recorded from Sky Arts this afternoon. Wonderful.
Yeah. Always worth checking out what's on that channel.
Yeah, Steve Fuller, he was in a movie based in Philly that was the one with J-Law, and it was something Players Handbook? No, something. It was the football movie.
Save a Player's Handbook.
What was the name of the movie? He won. Did he get an Oscar for it? Did J-Law get?
Yeah.
Robert De Niro was in it, I think.
Yeah, I haven't seen it actually. Yes, directed by David.
We need to make a show where we're just trying to think of stuff all the time.
Compilation video. I think his name begins with an F. Yeah, no.
But yes, Steve, that he was in that, and that did take place in Philly. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should do that question thing. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I think they're just really awesome questions. You know, let's do those 2 that I remembered. What's your favorite sound and your least favorite sound? What's your favorite sound?
My favorite sound would have to be summer mornings, the first bird that chirps. I love hearing the birds chirp in the morning. And just that first one before they all chime in. That's what I love. Yeah.
Okay.
And
What?
My least
What's your
favorite sound?
least favorite sound?
There's a list, but I'd probably say like one of the obvious is just that high screeching dentist nails on a chalkboard high pitchedness where you're just like, oh, and you can't take it. Yeah. That's a bad one. Or I would say babies crying too. I don't like to hear babies crying because babies should be happy. They shouldn't be crying. Right?
Yeah.
How about you?
Well, I'll start with my least favorite because it's exactly the same. My least favorite, and I can't stand it, is babies crying. The sound of a baby crying. I hate it. And when my two were little, it used to just go right through me. I used to hate it. And obviously it's designed for that reason, isn't it? It's a biological thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I hate that sound. So yeah, that's but I think it's also because like you say, it sounds so distressing. It's not so much, it's not actually just the sound, is it? It's what it means.
Yeah.
And it's a horrible sound from that, because they don't know what's going on, and whatever if it's just a really stupid reason, it's not stupid for them, isn't it? It's like if they're crying because they can't have that bar of chocolate that was their fourth bar of chocolate and you said no more, and they're crying, it's still a horrible sound. And it's still depressing and all that. So yeah, that's definitely my least favorite. I'm going to go with two choices for my favorite. It's going to sound a bit soppy, but one of my favorites is the sound of my wife laughing.
Oh, I love that.
So yeah, when she really, really laughs a lot, then because she's if she really lets go, it's awesome. So yeah, I love that. It's a very special feeling. And the other sound, which is kind of a personal thing, but I really love the sound of an amplified acoustic guitar. Just as soon as you plug in and you start playing a chord, I just think it sounds incredible. And it sounds to me, it sounds ridiculous. And, we've just been talking about rock music for 2 hours. Yeah. But to me, an acoustic guitar amplified, strummed, sounds bigger than a full metal band in my head.
Nice.
It's got so much heart to it.
Yeah.
So I just think it's like,
that's very on brand for you. That's very on brand.
Yeah. My first guitar was an electric guitar, and I didn't like playing it. I've always played an acoustic since dropping the electric pretty early on. I love the sound of an acoustic guitar.
Love that. All right, let's see. Silver Lining Playbook. Yes, that's the name of the movie.
Silver Lining Playbook. That's it.
Yes. Gore Vidal, when Iggy Pop appeared on American Idol one year, I don't know who's more surprised, the audience who'd never heard of him or those of us who had. Iggy. Steve Fuller just came to me, 50-year-old brains. Yep. Sky Arts show a lot of in-depth rockumentaries around 3 hours long, always worth seeing.
Yeah.
Brian, favorite sound, leaves rustling, least favorite, leaf blowers. Aaron
he's a leaf man.
Aaron Facer. What's up, Aaron Facer?
Awesome. Hey, Aaron.
I love our little booktube community, man. That's awesome.
Awesome. You just made me think of something, but I can't remember what it was. Can you go back a couple of comments a second?
Sure. Where do you want me to go?
It was the one about documentaries. I'd love to talk about rockumentaries because there's a couple of awesome ones that I've seen, and I was thinking about like a really interesting one because it's such an interesting story, and that was the one about Chicago that I watched. I watched like a 2.5 hours special about Chicago.
Is that Peter Cetera?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He does not get on with them anymore. It's a really interesting story because the brass section were completely like sort of written out before they wanted to leave the band, and they never wanted to leave the band. And then the people that tried to write them out of the band left the band, and David Foster kind of took over. It was really interesting, the whole story. Mm-hmm. And obviously they were led by a guy who died really early on as well. Mm-hmm. And that kind of, stuff like that was happening. It's everyone knows about the Fleetwood Mac story, which is really interesting. Yeah. But there's bands like Chicago as well that people don't know necessarily how complicated that story is as well, So I
The
think
ins
that's
and outs
cool.
for sure.
Saw a really good one about Rush as well. That was really good. Oh, Geddy Lee has recently appeared in Ports of Guildhall doing a talk. I didn't realise. I would have gone to that. And Alex Lifeson turned up as well, and he was like, he just sort of turned up as a surprise guest. So if you're a Rush fan, you'd have been like, oh my god, because they were both there.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I couldn't believe that was, and it was a night where I was free as well. I couldn't believe it when I saw that it was literally down the road. I was like, what?
Geddy Lee down the road.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. I'm a big fan of Rush. I think Rush is an acquired taste. I think you have to listen to them for a bit to get them into your head.
Yeah,
but I think once you've got it,
yeah, I do enjoy Rush. I will say, I do.
Yeah. There's lots of talk in the documentary about stuff like that, about how their audience is like 95% male. I think that's funny.
Yeah, prog rock. Yeah.
But that's true for. I mean, whenever I go to a King Crimson related gig as well, they're all like 60-year-old fat blokes, usually bald. Just full of them. A sea of bald men. At King Crimson gigs.
Yep. Go to a Duran Duran show. What are you going to say?
Duran Duran's probably mostly women, right?
Hot 50-year-olds. That's what you're going to say.
50-year-olds, yeah.
That's what you're going to say.
I can't say hot 50-year-olds.
Yes, you can.
Your husband comes in and goes, "What's he saying?"
Yes, he wants me to be known as hot. For sure. But yeah, no, a lot of bands have that same deal. Let me think of one more. Who else has mostly like you go to a I mean this is for the youngins, but Taylor Swift concert, you're going to see generations of women. You're going to see grandmas, granddaughters, you're going to see college age, you're going to see grade school, you're going to see everyone. They're all there to see a show, and she is a performer.
Yeah. And there's people like when and bands like the Osmonds, when the Osmonds would have played, it would have been like what 60-year-old women, would it? Would have been
probably. I don't know. Well, back when I was a kid, I had the Donnie and Marie dolls. I was like, I was all over. I was, Leif Garrett, the Osmonds, all of that in that magic time when we were kids. Who else? Sean Cassidy was in that mix. The Bay City Rollers.
Yeah.
But then what? Then what happened?
David Cassidy, right? David Cassidy.
Sean Cassidy.
Sean Cassidy.
Yeah. Sean's his half brother or his cousin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was a Hardy Boy. Remember the Hardy Boys? Did you guys get the Hardy Boys over there?
Yeah.
The TV show? Okay, with I forget the other one's name, but Sean Cassidy was, he was on the cover of every single girls magazine.
I know. Yeah.
But it was just that time. But I'll tell you what happened during that time where it was, 70s pop, like I'm talking mid 70s probably. I was probably like 5, 6, 7, 8. Blondie and Cheap Trick entered my hemisphere and my world changed. And then I learned about Bowie, who came down from Mars because I'm an impressionable child, right? I'm 5 years old. Wait, when did Ziggy leave? Was that 1977? 1970?
That wasn't it? It's more like 70.
73? 4?
74, yeah, 74.
Okay. I was very young, and I remember hearing on TV that Ziggy Stardust is no longer here. He's no longer performing, and I started bawling. I was crying to my parents, and they're like, "What is wrong with this child?" And I'm like, "He went back to Mars," and I'm legit upset over something I have no idea about, except there's an alien that came to Earth and played in a rock band, and now he's gone. And I'm never going to see him. I swear.
That's amazing. I love that.
I absolutely swear. And then once I was older and I learned about Ziggy Stardust and everything, local movie theater was showing the rock concert movie. And I'm like, Mom, do you remember when I was a kid and this whole thing happened? She's like, yeah. I said, there's a documentary about it. Can we go see it? She's like, no, no, you're not going. You're not going because there's going to be drugs and everything else. And I'm like, Mom, I was probably like 14 years old. I'm like, please. And she's like, no, I didn't see it until probably like honestly 10 years ago. Like my TiVo just like taped it, and I'm like, this wasn't so bad. I could have gone to see that.
Have you seen the clip of David Bowie in an interview talking about the internet? Have you seen this clip where he says the interviewer says, "What do you think the impact of the internet's going to be?" It was right at the start of the internet, and he says, "The internet is an alien," and it was like, "What are you on about?" He's like, "It's an alien." He's like, "You need to expand on what you're saying. What you're saying," and he says some amazing things that you couldn't have known. That it's so insightful about what he says. He says it's going to change everything.
Yeah.
And he's like, how we define ourselves, and he's saying like big stuff, and it's like that is an amazing brain that he had in there.
Yeah. You know? And he had his own internet company. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was a member of BowieNet when it came out. Yeah. You paid it was like AOL. It was like $9.99 a month, and you were on BowieNet. And once in a while, David showed up, and David didn't show up under David Bowie. He would show up under an alias. And we were all like typing to each other about what his alias was. And, oh, David's in the room. David's in the room. Da, 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 da. You know, and we're all like messaging each other. It lasted for like a hot minute.
That's well good though. I've got an idea of an artist that I think I've never seen him live, but I think would probably be an all male audience. Weird Al Yankovic.
I think it could go either way.
Do you reckon?
I think it could go either way. He's funny.
Yeah, he's funny. But so many. When I think about that kind of humor, so many seems to be some more successful for males rather than females. I don't know. But I've never been to one of his gigs. I'd love to, but I can't verify if this is a true thing.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Oh God, we're running behind again. Okay, Steve Fuller had to go. Bye. Grammaticus Books is here. Rockumentary. Some of my favorites. Life by Keith Richards is great. I have a copy of Life up there. I got for like $2 at the library book sale. Grammaticus is kind of new. Good to see you. Check out his channel. He is science fiction.
He's really good.
Yeah. Bookish. I'm ready. I'm reading Geddy Lee's memoir right now. That's awesome. Dave and Olive say, Gareth, if you go, can you be the one on one of those hot 50-year-olds? He is a hot 50. Yo, everybody that's a 50-year-old now, we are hot 50-year-olds. Embrace it, people. All right. 50 is the new 48. Dave says, are you talking about me? I've never actually seen King Crimson, but I'd really like to. Dave, I'm shocked at that. I'm shocked. Taylor Swift's Lockdown albums were a revelation to me. They're really good. They are really good. Dave, I'm vibing with you tonight, buddy. Yeah.
To be fair, I wouldn't have expected Dave to be a Taylor Swift fan. So good on you, mate. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love that. Let's see. Gore Vidal, 1973 or so. Yeah, that sounds about right. And by 1977, Bowie Smith was making the Berlin albums like Heroes. Yes.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Trilogy. Bowie's wonderful in The Hunger. Yes, that's one of my favorite movies. And I'm reading that book with Michael Romeo Talks Books. I have the paperback with the step back cover, and we're doing a buddy read if anybody else wants to jump
when are you going to do it? When are you going to do that?
January. That's a Whitley Strieber book.
Yeah, Whitley Strieber. Yeah. Famous for doing Communion as well, wasn't he? Which is the one about being visited by aliens.
I went to the movies to go see that. Yep.
But no, I love the film.
Yeah, Jamie B's books. I wonder how many kids have one of those all-out bawling moments due to music stuff. Mine was when I realized Freddie Mercury had been dead for 2 years when I was getting into him as a preteen. Oh gosh, I'm gonna hug you, Jamie B. Yeah. Do you remember the Freddie Mercury concert? The concert for Freddie?
Yeah, I remember where I was when I found out he died as well. I'd only just met my wife. This like the second time I went into her shop to say hello to her. Aww. She was working in a convenience shop, and I went in there just to sort of chat, you know,
just to say hello because you saw Sweetie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mm-hmm. And then they came on the radio, and we were like, "What?" You know, it was a big thing, and I was still a huge fan then. So I've cooled down a little bit, but a few years before that, I was obsessed with him. But yeah, I was still a big fan, and it was a big shock. And it was a shock to everyone because he did manage to conceal it. You know, he didn't share it, and the rest of the band concealed it. And you know, the story of the last album is amazing. When when he said to Brian, "Look, do what you can, and I'll just pop in and do whatever I can, and you have to finish it." You know, imagine being told that. You know, he said, "I'll do whatever if I'm strong enough to come in, I'll come in and I'll do something, but we'll just see how far we can go with it." You know, that's
awesome.
amazing.
Completely.
Yeah, it's a really good album. I really like "Let Me Live." I think "Let Me Live" is an amazing song. And I love the fact they all take a verse, because I love it when because I'm the kind of Queen fan who Roger and Brian were my favorites, and I love the songs that they sang lead in. So 39 is one of the best songs ever, and that's clearly Brian all over. You know, Sleeping on the Sidewalk as well, and I like Tenement Funster that Roger Taylor sings, and I love it when they sing lead. So Let Me Live is nice because it's got all of them singing lead, and it's got some really big moments that they kind of like overproduced as well. And it's just it's just cool because it's like classic Queen, but it was one of the last things they did.
That's awesome.
You know?
Awesome.
And the concert, the tribute concert to Freddie Mercury, they showed that live on. I'm sure they showed it live on our TVs.
Yeah.
And yes, they did, because ever since then, they only show because they show it a lot on Sky Arts, but it bugs me that they only show the bit where they sing Queen songs, and the first half of the concert was all these other acts just playing a set, which is fine. I get why they only show the second half, but the first half included an amazing medley by Extreme.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic medley. You know, they started with Mustafa. Who plays Mustafa? You know, it was such a brilliant medley. And they never show it because they only show the second half, you know, which is brilliant. But if they showed the whole thing, you get to see the medley, you know, again, which is awesome.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't know if we saw the whole thing over here or if it was just bits, because I think they showed it. I want to say they showed it live, but then like a network picked it up and they showed like the highlights afterwards. But all I know is I had that sucker on VHS tape. I made sure that I sat and I watched the entire thing, and my mind was just blown. It was so beautiful. I had the chills.
You got like all young dudes, and David Bowie comes out and plays sax on it, which is awesome. Isn't it? When you see David Bowie play sax, he wrote the song, didn't he? So it's very cool that he's doing it with them. And Martin Hooper were a big part of Queen's past. So all the stuff like that. And when there's so many great moments in that, actually. It's like when I'll never forget seeing Brian May singing "Too Much Love Will Kill You," and he wrote it about that, and you could see he's getting really upset singing it. I just think that sort of stuff's just, you know, very personal, very private kind of moment.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But apparently during that concert, because obviously loads of people say, well, what happened to John Deacon? But during that concert, towards the end of the concert, apparently John Deacon walked over to Brian and said, "I can't do this anymore. This is it for me."
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So he literally thought, you know, if Freddie's not here, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So, you know, but you know, I think good on the other two for trying to keep the thing alive and trying to keep gigging. I love gigging. You know, someone said, "Well, how long can you do it for?" And Brian's like, "Well, I love gigging, so I don't want to stop." You know.
Yeah. Do you know what's weird? You said John Deacon, and that kind of triggered a memory for me. My brother, when he used to live in Maryland, he worked, and his place would get like free concert tickets and stuff like that. And we got to see Roger Daltrey, and it was just Roger Daltrey solo, right? And he's singing all of his songs. He's just having a good old time. And I want to say Deacon did Deacon play bass? Was he the bass player?
Yeah, for the Queen, yeah.
Yeah, I think he was with Roger Daltrey at that show.
Really?
And when I tell you no one was there, no one was there. There was probably 300 people at that show. Nobody came to see Roger Daltrey, like, you know, solo.
I tell you what, John Deacon is a really underrated bass player. He's a fantastic. Some of the stuff he did on those albums is incredible. The bass work in songs like, I don't know if you know it, "Sail Away, Sweet Sister." Do you know that song?
Yeah.
One of the best songs. Again, a Brian song where Brian sings the whole thing. But the bass work in it is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it's really, really interesting what he chose, his choices that he made as a musician. You know, not just covering the chords, but just amazing stuff that he played. Yeah, amazing.
Now I
Yeah.
want to.
So,
Now I want to look up that concert movie again. Oh
yeah. Did I tell you about what happened when I saw Roger Daltrey?
no! What?
It's this was a festival thing, and it was only at that time. It was only me and my son that was there, and Louis was about 11. He was really young, maybe 11, 12, something like that. He was very young, but he'd already found out about the Who, so he was a big fan. He was very excited that Roger Daltrey was headlining, and he was like, "Dad, we got to see Roger Daltrey." No, absolutely, mate. I want to see him as well. You know, I was very excited myself to see Roger Daltrey, and we were all like, so both of us were like, you know, we've got to make sure we're there for on the main stage for Roger Daltrey's slot, and all the way through his set, he was getting massive problems through his ear, and he was getting horrendous feedback, the worst feedback I've ever seen in any concert. And it was a huge stage. It was incredibly loud, and there was this really horrible low hum. This feedback that went through your stomach. It made you feel ill. And there was people leaving. There's all these Who T-shirts leaving the field because they couldn't stand it. It was so horrible. Yeah. And but before that happened, we were standing there, and I said to Louis, because he was young and it was like such a kind of chilled out festival, I said, "Mate, go right, because you're little, go right to the front and enjoy yourself. Just go right to the front." So he went to the front. So he left. So I was without him, and there's all these people being really upset, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "I need to find him because this is horrendous." And it was just this awful noise.
Yeah.
And then I just saw him running past me, crying his eyes out. And it's just like, "Oh my god, this is horrible." And then went to find him, and it was like, "Don't worry, mate." And Richie, who was there as well, he saw us later, and I said to him, "Oh, we had to go because it was doing Louis' head in, it was doing my head in. Was it any good?" And he said, "Oh man, it was amazing." "And what song did you leave on?" And I said, "Well, we left on," and it was like, I don't know, Can't Explain or something. And he went, "Oh yeah, it was Fix after that." And he did, and he listened to all these songs he did. I was like, "Oh, shut up." It was apparently a brilliant gig after that, but half the audience had left because this feedback was so bad. It was awful.
That sounds
terrible.
terrible.
It was like,
that's one of those noises that would, you know, what's your top noise that you don't like?
And it was a real dad moment because I just thought, you know, I felt so bad for leaving him, but I just thought, yeah, go for it, enjoy yourself. Do you know what I mean?
You didn't leave him; you encouraged him.
Well, yeah, I encouraged him to get upset.
Oh gosh! All right, let's see. Dave Brzezinski. It's interesting that people have only fairly recently started to realize what a genius Mick Robson was. Ronson.
Yeah. That's a typo. Yeah.
Oh my God, Bowie, you got to be kidding me! No, I'm not kidding you. Death metal concerts are 80 to 90% male. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
For sure. I never quite got why people like Weird Al so much. Now, Alberto y los Trios Paranoias, they were a brilliant comedy rock band. I'm not familiar.
I'll check them out. I don't know them, but I love Weird Al.
Dave Brzezinski, I remember when Paul McCartney died. Me too. That's a big Is that more conspiracy than anything?
Yeah, he's not dead.
Are we sure? Are we positive on that?
I would get upset when Paul McCartney dies. I really will. I talk about him all the time, funnily enough. I mean, I've got to appreciate him more as a teacher. So I've always been a Beatles fan, but him specifically, there are so many things that you can relate. You can, if people go, "Oh, why are they so overrated?" Blah 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 blah. So much of it comes back to Paul. He was an incredible tunesmith, and his voice was incredible in the early days, and he did Fire the Flames, if you like, as far as like their activity and stuff. Really interesting guy. So people just sort of like to talk about, "Oh, he's too old, he's lost his voice, shouldn't sing anymore," which I don't actually think is true. But if he died, I think it would be such huge news. It'd be like the Queen dying, I think, the Queen, you know.
Yeah, it would be right up there where were you when so-and-so died? Like, where were you when Elvis died?
It'd be huge. He's literally probably one of the most famous people in the world.
Yeah, for sure.
And people who don't, my mum knows nothing about music, but she knows who Paul McCartney is.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she barely knows who I am. Paul McCartney is.
Dave, playing the White Album backwards to hear Paul is dead and all the symbolism on Abbey Road. For sure. Well, this was fun. I went over my limit. I said I was going to stop at 8 o'clock my time. What time is it over there?
Hello.
What time is it?
It's 20. We haven't changed our clock, so I have to work it out.
It's 1:34 over there.
25 to 2.
Yeah, it's after 1:30.
Oh, I could just look on my phone, of course. I'm looking over at the clock. You don't even have to have a clock nowadays, do you? But I'm looking at the clock because I think, out of respect for the clock existing,
yeah,
I will look at the clock.
Yeah.
But there's a little digital clock on my phone.
Oh.
Phones are amazing, aren't they? They can do so many clever things. They can tell the time.
Yeah.
They can.
Yeah. They could do a lot.
You can put messages up that say "put the on."
Yeah.
On your screen.
Mhm. Yep. I could say.
Oh, actually, there is some other words. It's like put the MJ Gareth on, isn't it? That's what it says.
Put the what?
Put the MJ Gareth on.
The Gareth-on. There you go.
Well, that sounds like a telephone. The MJ Gareth on.
It does. Mm-hmm.
That's when we go for like 36 hours.
The McGarathon.
The MJ Gareth on.
Gareth-on? Yeah, it could work.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Eventually I'll figure a Gareth off.
Yeah.
Oh
man.
Gareth off. It's two Gareths competing.
Everybody's saying goodbye. Woo! Bookish Bryants, this was fun. Thank you both. Well, thank you for hanging out with us. Yeah, for sure.
So, had you said goodbye? You had said goodbye, right? Otherwise, they're telling us to stop.
Well, I kind of said, that we're going 2.5 hours, and I kind of said I wanted to cut out at 8, and here it is 8:36 because I love talking to you.
Someone's gonna write enough now. They're like, we've had enough. Can you get off my screen?
Like fun chatting. See you later.
I'm not nowhere near my remote, and I want something else to appear on my screen. Thank you very much.
Everything went downhill after the cookie talk.
Yeah, true. Well, apparently you don't like In Your Eyes, so I don't even know where to go from there.
I'm sorry. It's just I can't hide it. I have to own it. I'm not going to play that game where I'm like, oh, I love that song so much. No. I'm going to wear my true colors all the time.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Bookish Bryants. Okay, they said thank you both. This was fun. Jamie B says thanks for the chat. I should be reading now. This was a fun break. Fun chatting with you all. Have a wonderful Christmas with your families. Thank you so much, and back at you.
Thank you.
Paul is a brilliant bassist. If you really listen to the Beatles, you can see just how complex their music was. They just made it sound simple pop songs.
Yeah, absolutely. Really.
Rage
Biscuit is out.
Out. Dave says he's only got started. Well, Dave, you can hang with Gareth and chit chat longer. Gareth is not satisfied until you hit hour 5. Well,
I could get into this, couldn't I? Could get back into this.
There you go. Well, I'm gonna go spend some time with my hubby because he just got home from basketball practice. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna go to sleep in like an hour.
Can you give him a hug from me?
Yeah.
And maybe shake his hand as well.
Okay.
Ruffle his hair.
Okay.
And then go, you.
I will. I'll see. This is what Gareth told me to do. And he'll say, when are we going to the pub? When are we going to the pub? I want to go to the pub. I want to go to the oldest pub around.
Yeah, I was noticing there was a few more in London that were older than that. So we've got some more to visit.
Cool. We're down. Yeah. We're down. We'll see what we'll see what happens. We got places to travel this year. We'll see if we could get over there again. I'd love to, but we'll see.
Yeah, next year I'm going to Italy and New Orleans. Yeah.
That's good.
I see you in New Orleans.
That's good eating.
Good eating. I'm not going to eat them.
No, you're going to eat.
You're going to eat them.
Yeah. New Orleans is famous for their food, and so is Italy.
Yeah.
It's going to be wonderful. How are you feeling on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, this chat's kind of woken me up a bit. I think I'm around the right time to have some more of the tablets, which is nice.
Okay.
As long as I don't lose them.
Medicinals.
And I think I'll be all right. I think I'll tell you what, this has been a lot more easy than I thought it was going to be. I was worried that I'd be coughing my way through it, but it's not been too bad. But I think it's a weird thing with adrenaline, isn't it? I think if you're chatting, you kind of, your body doesn't, once we're off, my body will be like, oh, you're supposed to be ill. and then I go, oh no, you've remembered. They go, yeah, I'm gonna make you cough now, and then I'll be coughing for hours, and then at the end of the day, or like tomorrow morning, I'll be like, thanks, body, for remembering, and it'll be, I'll get you again later.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is that you got to take care of yourself because we got the holiday coming up, and you've got
anyway, I've got to take care of myself to take care of others. That's what I've got to do.
That's what you have to do. Yeah. Somebody gave you good advice.
I know. It was when I went to I watched someone who was and really what I wanted was fiction, friends, and fun.
Yeah.
And I got all three and a bit of advice at the end. It was awesome.
That's right, because that's what we do here. And stay curious.
Stay curious. I'm gonna. Is that working? Is that working?
It is. It is. I like it.
Okay.
I like it a lot.
That's cool.
I like it a lot. All right, now I'm getting silly. I woke up today. Because I'm reading. What am I reading? I'm reading this. And I woke up extra early today. So I got up at 3:30. And I'm like, I want a cup of coffee and I want my book. That's what I want. And now it's kind of like silly time for me because my body's telling me, you got to go to sleep. You got to go to sleep, girl. Because you've been up
on my last stream, I said that you were enjoying that book. Was I right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good. I wouldn't want to lie about your opinions or your experiences,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. I got to pack my bags because I got to go to Portugal tomorrow.
I say that sort of shit on the mic when I play and you can see the drummer like look at me going, oh no, he's off again. He's gonna talk some nonsense.
And if anybody wants to know what I'm talking about, watch Gareth's last live where I wasn't there, but he kept including me in all of the questions and stuff. There are some brilliant answers that are all true. Every single one.
True.
All true. Fact. That's it. Oh, all right. So let's see. Dave says Dave is reading The Invisible Girl by C.L. Farley. And he says we need to fix a time to get me started on a cam for a chat.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
What about me? Am I included? Come on.
He meant Gareth collectively.
All right.
Like the collective we.
Yeah. Dave's got a special place in my heart. That Dave Brzezinski and his Occult Detective magazine.
Yeah, which apparently we're doing next year, right? That was a bit of a subtle.
And you know what? That was honestly some of like the best stuff that happened today. Is whoever said, "Are we doing this next year?" And I'm like, "Sure, we're just scratching the surface." And then Ollie's like, "I'm in." You're like, "I'm in." Everybody's like, "I'm in," and I'm like, "This is great." I have so many people that are saying yes to an event that's literally like 11 months away.
It's awesome. It's good for hopefully it makes a difference in the magazine as well.
Yeah. Coda, hi there. Looks like I'm late to the party. You are late to the party, but you could watch it from the beginning right now. How's that? Yeah, all right, buddy. I'm honestly, I gotta get going. I gotta go say hey to the hubs before I fall asleep. Gareth is for practice. I need to be perfect for you.
Oh, how smooth is that?
Just sweet talk, Dave Brzezinski. You know that you are just camera perfect. You give that Jilly a big hug and a kiss from me.
That is very smooth, Dave.
Yeah.
I bet you're a massive hit with the ladies.
Well, that's why he's still with Jilly. How's that? Yeah. All right, buddy. I know I'm going to talk to you before then, but happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Yeah.
May all your Christmases be all right.
Yeah, and filled with biscuits.
Yeah, that's a good point. I haven't had one for a while. What? Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna fill my mug. Have a cup of tea. Oh no, have you got my cough?
You gave it to me.
Oh shit, I'm so sorry.
Yep.
There's a bit of risk. Doing a live stream is a bit, we're only we're only that far apart.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I'm so sorry.
It's like, yeah. The germs come through. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, get some sleep, get some rest, take your meds, and I'll chat you up probably tomorrow. I'll be like, how you feeling? What's going on?
Yeah, we'll catch up tomorrow.
Because that's what we
thanks
do.
a lot to anyone that's still watching it. Have we still got people watching this?
We got 10.
10 wonderful people.
Wonderful people still hanging with us, and Rage Biscuit is probably gone.
He's
Gabe
gone.
is still here. Olive is still here. Code is still here. So yeah, there's awesome people still here.
Awesome. Well, thanks guys for watching.
Yeah.
And hope everyone has a fantastic 2024.
Yep.
Although I might be able to say that before that.
No.
But yeah, anyway.
Christmas.
No.
We're just focusing on the first holiday, Christmas.
Yeah. Happy Christmas. And whatever Christmas is for you, I hope it's a good one.
Solstice, Yule, all the good stuff is happening right now.
Exactly.
All right. Oh wait, I'm still with Jilly because no one else will put up with either of us night. All right, guys. All right. Good night. See you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody, and everybody watching on the replay. Peace.